So if you're anything like me, you clicked on this video to learn how to run Google Ads. Maybe you're a freelancer or an agency and you want to offer it as a service, or maybe you just want to learn Google Ads to grow your own business. If that's you, then you're in the right place. And I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about Google Ads without any special IQ, without having a ton of money or decades of experience. So with that in mind, if you're interested in learning how businesses all around the world are making millions of dollars from Google, then this video is for you. I've been running Google Ads now for over a decade and have generated millions of dollars through this platform, and I'm going to give you everything. The best part, it's going to be 100% free. This course, even though it's going to be one long video, it's going to be divided into 3 days. On day 1, I'm going to teach you how Google Ads work from a 30,000-foot view. I'm going to break down keywords, how to structure your campaigns, and everything you need to know as far as the strategy. On day 2, we're going to dive into the Google Ads platform, show you a live campaign, and we're also going to be building out an entire new campaign from scratch. We're going to break down all of the technical setup. We're going to pick the actual keywords. We're going to write the ad. And finally, on day 3, we're going to show you how to track everything, how to optimize your campaigns, and finally, how to set up the landing pages turn leads into actual conversions. With that in mind, sit back, relax, grab a pen and paper, be ready to take some notes, and let's dive in. We are live for How to Do Google Ads for Dummies. We're going to break it all down today. So first, I want to start off with some warnings. Number 1, do not get shiny object syndrome. Okay, I'm not telling you guys to just randomly switch to Google Ads today. I'm just educating you on how to do Google Ads. I want to give you guys the resources to put that in your back pocket and be able to use that tool if you need it. I am not telling you guys to go and start a Google Ads agency. Is that loud and crystal clear? Before everyone switches to Google Ads. Okay, cool. Like, if you guys have something that's working, double down. If you guys are already doing this, you're already doing Facebook or TikTok, double down. This is more just for you to have it in your back pocket. And if you want to experiment with it with a few clients, you can. I'll give you that. If you want to experiment and run a test with a few clients, you can. I don't want you guys to switch your entire business. So I'm going to say that one more time. If you want to run an experiment with a few clients, you can. That's what this is all about. It's that little bit of innovation where you can try something new. Don't change your entire business though. Does that make sense? So you can test it. Don't change your entire business and say, yo, after the master class, I'm a Google Ads agency. It's more like, hey, I just learned this. Let me see if I could try it with 2 or 3 clients, see how it goes, and go from there. All right. That's warning number 1. Warning number 2. A lot of people think that Google Ads is going to solve all of their clients' problems because the leads came from Google. So warning number 2, just because you run Google Ads doesn't mean your clients automatically get better results. Here's what I mean by that. If you guys need let me give you an example. If you guys need a dentist, most of you would probably go on Google first. Like, let's say, and to make it even more specific, let's say that one of you guys chipped your tooth and it's like bleeding. Like, you're going to go on Google and immediately search up emergency dentist. Imagine you have literal blood gushing out of your mouth. You're not going to wait on Facebook hoping that you get hit with an ad and be like, oh, finally, I got hit with an ad for emergency dental. Let me go and call them. You need to have a very strong intent. There's a much stronger drive inside you being like, I need this right now. So a lot of people will say Google Ads leads are higher quality because of that. Because people have a higher degree of intent. They are much more ready to buy. They are already in their mind thinking, I need this. When you chip your tooth it's bleeding, you're gushing blood. You're not thinking, do I really want a dentist? You're thinking, I need to get myself to the dentist ASAP. So you do get a higher degree of intent with the leads. That being said, it does not solve the fact that your clients suck at sales. It does not solve the fact that your clients don't call the leads. It's you still have to sell the lead. They're still shopping around. They're not going to automatically give your clients money just because it came from Google. That's a huge misconception. So are the leads higher intent? Yes. But does it automatically mean that your clients are going to get insane results? No. We still have to educate the clients. We still have to train the clients. You still have to set expectations with the client. You still have to follow up. You still have to learn how to close. Drop a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. All right, warning number 3. Some niches, some areas work better than others. All right, warning number 3, guys. Some niches in some areas work better than others. Okay, so for example, if you guys are thinking about getting, I'll give you a very personal example. When I tore my ACL, I wanted to find the best ACL surgeon in Denver. So what did I do? I went on Google and I researched ACL surgeons in Denver, right? That, how do I say this? The amount of people in Denver looking for an ACL surgeon is going to determine, to some degree, the difficulty of how hard Google Ads is going to be. Okay, so for example, if barely anyone is looking for an ACL surgeon, it's going to be very hard. If a lot of people in that area are looking for an ACL surgeon, it's going to be a lot easier. And then the next question is, how many people are already competing for those people? If there's a lot of different surgeons bidding to put their business up at the top of Google when someone looks up ACL surgeon in Denver, then the cost might be too high. So it boils down to a few different factors: the area, the niche, and the competition. The area, the niche, and the competition. If you're in an area where no one is looking for an ACL surgeon and you're bidding on that keyword, you're telling Google, hey, anytime anyone ever searches ACL surgeon, I want you to put my ad up there. If no one searches for it, it's not going to work. Don't expect to get hundreds of leads, right? How many people are looking for plumbers in a given city? A lot. How many people are looking for, I don't know, maybe there's this very specific type of procedure that barely anyone gets. There's not going to be as much traffic. So that will definitely affect it. Number 2, how big the city is, right? So if you're going after if you're working with a chiropractor in the middle of nowhere, there's not going to be that, like, think about like a very rural small town in America where everyone in the town already knows the chiropractor. If they need to go to the chiropractor, they'll probably just drive up and walk in or call them, find them on Google. They already know who they are. They're not going to be searching on Google for all these different options. Whereas in a city like Denver, where there's over 30 chiropractors, people will be searching and looking at the different options. So how many people are in the city, the niche that you're in, and last but not least, the competition. So for example, Google Ads for personal injury attorneys is going to be brutal. You guys are going to get slaughtered because you have these attorneys bidding and willing to spend hundreds of dollars for a click. They're willing to spend hundreds of dollars for a click. So it's extremely competitive. And then the mechanics of the actual investment for the attorney don't make as much sense. So the finances and the economics need to make sense. And if you're in a city where there's not a lot of people, or you're in a niche where no one's really looking for it, or you're
bidding for keywords where there's way too much competition, like lawyer near, auto accident lawyer, Denver, it's going to be really hard. So I want to give that expectation. It definitely works much better in some niches with certain services in certain cities, and it definitely works better in niches where there's less competition. So for example, I'll give you guys a very real example. When I ran, so for those of you guys that don't know, I actually started off my entire marketing journey learning Google Ads, and my family owns a wedding venue, Philadelphia, and I'll show you guys their ad account next Friday. That's the ad account I was trying to get access to, and we're in 2 Fridays, not next Friday, but I'll show you guys the entire back end. And we were bidding for best wedding venue Philadelphia. That's kind of one of the main keywords, or wedding venues Philadelphia. Was it expensive? Yeah, it was a little expensive, but how many people in Philadelphia are getting married? A lot. And they're also looking for it on Google. And they're looking at all the different options. So it's not like they're going to wait on Facebook and get hit with an ad and be like, okay, that's the venue. They're going to look at every single option out there. So they're on Google searching and doing their research. So it's a good niche. It's in a good city, right? There's a lot of people. I think there's over 1 million people just in Philadelphia. And it's not too competitive to the point where it doesn't make financial sense. Make sense, guys? Again, it's really important, because if we just dive in and you start running personal injury attorney Google ads, you're going to get slaughtered. Or if you go into a city that has 5,000 people and you're expecting to get a ton of traffic for dental implants or dental implant dentist near me, it's going to be tough. And if you're, so if that makes sense, guys, drop a 1 in the chat. Cool. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. So with that in mind, let's dive into the basics. When you guys run Google Ads, what's happening is you're telling Google, hey, when someone searches for this keyword, I want to show up. And the way that it works is in the form of an auction. Have you guys seen an auction where someone's like, I'll pay $10, and the next person's like, I'll pay 12, and then the next person's like, pay 20, and then the highest bidder gets the thing? Have you guys seen an auction? Yes? Cool. It works the same way. So it's like, hey, who wants to be at the top for dental implant dentist Denver? Okay, all these people are going to start bidding. You go and you say, I'll pay $5 for a click. Next person says, I'll pay $7 for a click. Next person says, I'll pay $8 for a click. Cool. If you're the highest bidder, you're going to show up first. The second to highest bidder is going to show up second. The third to highest bidder is going to show up third. That's how it works. And you're essentially, the game is to figure out which are the keywords that are really driving an ROI for the business that I want to bid on, and how much am I willing to bid on those keywords, so that when people search for those keywords, I show up. That's Google from a very high level. It's really important for you guys to understand that, because if you don't, everything else that I'm about to share with you guys is going to go through one ear and out the other. Again, you have a keyword. So for example, we can kind of just go on Google and do this together. So again, for example, let's use the wedding venue example. If I look up Denver wedding venue, this company right here, Wedgwood Weddings, is telling Google, hey, whenever anyone searches for this keyword, I want to show up, and I'm willing to spend the most to show up. This person, Upper Larimer, is saying, hey, whenever anyone searches for Denver wedding venue, I want to show up first, but I'm not willing to spend the most. So they have the second highest bid. Is that making sense? If someone searches Denver dental implants, cool, sponsored. 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys are spending the most and bidding on these placements on Google for this keyword to show up at the highest level. And again, next week, in 2 weeks, we'll go over placements. We'll go over all that stuff. Today, I want to get you guys to understand how Google works. So all these people that aren't sponsored, this is how you would rank if you were doing SEO. So they've optimized everything to be able to show up first when people search for these things. That being said, the ads will always show up before the organic search results, which is nice. So you see all the way down here, sponsored. This is also an ad. But as you can see here, they're not bidding as high as these guys. And every time I click on it, they're paying. So every time I click, they pay. So they just paid. We go back, click on this, they're paying for that click. And I know that's kind of messed up. I won't do it too much, but the point is, you're telling Google, hey, whenever someone searches for this thing, I want to show up and I'm willing to spend this much for the click, and that will determine how high I will be in the search result. Is this making sense, guys? How the Google machine works? It's a little bit different than Facebook, TikTok, where you're just saying, hey, I have this really cool service or product. Do you want it? Instead, with Google, you're saying, hey, you're already searching for this. Let me tap into that traffic and put myself up top. Here's one more quick lesson for you guys on this. And then we'll dive into like how to actually start building out your keywords. With Facebook and TikTok, and even YouTube, what you're doing is you're creating an ad. So for example, let's say that we run an ad saying, hey, we're offering a free adjustment. We're a chiropractor. What happens is people might be scrolling and they're like, oh, cool, I've been having neck pain. They're offering free adjustments. I should sign up. That is an impulse. The person scrolling on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram wasn't thinking, I need to look for a chiropractor right now. They were thinking, oh, I'm just going to scroll on social media. And then they happen to come across this thing. And then it made them have an impulse and it made them want to get this thing. So the nice thing about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as Felipe said, is you can create your demand. You can create desire out of thin air. So the amount of leads that you can generate will be based upon your ability to create that desire in as many people as possible. Whereas with Google, you are limited to the total number of people already searching for that thing. So for example, if people are searching for wedding venues Philadelphia, there's only going to be a certain amount. I can't create more. Whereas if I run an ad saying, hey, free adjustments, I will be able to tap into an entire demographic of people who weren't thinking about going to the chiropractor and now want to go to the chiropractor. So I'm going to be able to generate a lot more leads. So the point is, the last kind of like big lesson, to a certain degree, you can't control how many leads you're going to get. It's going to be dependent on how many people are searching for those things in your area, how competitive it is, and how much you're willing to pay for those leads. The way that I like to look at it is with direct response on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. You're almost, it's called it, the way that I like to see it is it's an impulse decision. You're like, oh, I want this. With Google, you've already made, it's not an impulse. You've thought it through. You have already an intention in your mind that you're going to do this. And by the way, with Google, you guys can overcomplicate the fuck out of it. There is a lot. I like to keep it extremely simple. I like to keep it extremely simple. That's what I've seen was the most effective. We used to do all these crazy things. And what we realized over time is that we literally needed to have 2 campaigns, which I'll break down today, and that's it. Cool. So here's how it works. You tell Google, when someone searches for X, Y, or Z keyword, I am willing to pay this much to show up. I always believe you should pay as much as needed to show up number 1. We always had worse results whenever we got cheap with it. I'd rather just show up number 1, show up number 1, show up number 1. So I'm optimizing this and willing to, like, what if I were running this for the clients, I'd be like, hey, we're going to spend as much as possible to show up number 1. That's the goal. I don't want to be lower on the page. Number 2, fine. But really, I don't want to go past that. Now, let's say that we're going with dentists. Dentists. That's the niche that we're going to do right now. We could do a few. And let's say that they offer Invisalign. They offer dental implants. They offer cosmetics, so cosmetic dentist. Let's just start with those 3. Okay. And what we're going to do is every time someone is searching for an Invisalign dentist, we want to show up. So how do we tell that to Google? There's 3 types of keywords. And this is where a lot of people, I guarantee you, most people waste money on this. Most people waste money on this. So if I type in, if I go on Google and I put the keyword Invisalign and I want to bid on that, it's going to show my ad to anything related to Invisalign, okay? Even if I put, let's say, Invisalign dentist. If I put the ad on Google and I don't put any, this is going to get a little complicated, so just bear with me. If I don't put any quotation marks or I don't put any brackets, if I just leave it kind of open, if I leave it open, that's called broad match. So this is open. There's no quotation marks around it and there's no brackets. If I do that, it's going to show my ad to anything related to Invisalign dentist. We don't want to do that, okay? We do not want to do that. We do not want to show our ad to anything related to Invisalign dentist, because then if people look up how to clean my teeth or should I get Invisalign, you're bidding for that and you don't want to. Now, here's what happens if I put these little quotation marks. If I put quotation marks, what that tells Google is I want to bid on this keyword, but it has to have these 2 words in it. So it's going to show up for, let's say, Invisalign dentist Denver. It's going to show up for Invisalign dentist near me. It's going to show up for Invisalign. It's going to show up for best Invisalign dentist. Unfortunately, it will also show up for worst Invisalign dentist. It will show up for anything that includes these 2 words. So if I keep this open and I say, hey, Google, I want to bid on the keyword Invisalign dentist, it's going to show it to anything related to this. And we don't want to do that. We never want to do the keywords without the quotation marks or the brackets, especially for local. Because if we do that, it's going to show up for, should I get Invisalign? Is it better to get Invisalign or, online or go to a dentist? It's going to show up for a lot of random stuff related to this, right? And we don't want that, because someone that's looking for this doesn't mean that they're even going to get a dentist. They might search for how much is Invisalign. That's called broad match keyword, where it's open. There's no quotation marks around it or brackets. We do not want to do that. Do not bid on those keywords. This is where most local businesses waste money on Google. They go in and they put a bunch of keywords related to their business without the quotation marks, without the brackets, and then they start getting placed and spending money on all these things unrelated to them specifically. If you put the quotation marks, what that tells it is anything in the phrase must be included. Anything in the phrase must be included. So anything in the phrase, those two keywords must be included. So what I want you guys to type down is like, what would be an example of a search result for a phrase match? If we do a phrase match keyword for dental implants, Miami, what's something that could show up? Not Joel Kaplan, but yeah. It's tricky, guys. I want you guys to understand this, because if not, you're gonna waste money. Yes, Pierce got it. You could also show up for what Nick said, dental implants Miami scam. If you put in dental implants Miami scam, that would still show up. But you see how we're starting to narrow it in, right? We're starting to narrow it in. Pretty much anything that has this in it, you'll show up. The last variation, it's called exact match. What you're telling Google now is, I only want you to show up when someone looks up that exact thing. So for this, I would only show up if someone literally looks up Invisalign dentist. If someone looks up anything other than that, I will not show up. I will not be bidding on it. This is called exact match. So anything written exactly as the keyword, you will show up. So if you're bidding on, let's see, Invisalign dentist Miami, then someone literally needs to search Invisalign dentist Miami for me to show up. And if they don't search it exactly as that, I don't pay. So to recap, if you guys put the keywords without any quotation marks or brackets, you're fucked. You're going to waste money on a lot of random stuff. People are going to be just searching anything related to that keyword. This is my go-to, by the way, and I'll break down how I do it in a second, but most of my keywords are phrase match, where I tell Google, I want to show up for anything that includes those key keywords. So for example, when I did the wedding venue in Philadelphia, we would do wedding venue Philadelphia. That was probably the most profitable keyword for us, because then people would look up best wedding venue Philadelphia. We would show up. They would look up unique wedding venue Philadelphia. We would show up. They would look up what are the best wedding venue and what is the best wedding venue in Philadelphia? What is the best wedding venue in Philadelphia? We'll show up. List of wedding venues in Philadelphia. And then you could also create wedding venues Philadelphia. And what would happen, guys, is I would get really targeted traffic, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is the last type of keyword. It's called a negative keyword. Negative keyword. So now we're telling Google, hey, these are the things I don't want to show up for, ever. So if someone says this, do not put my ad up there. So for example, our entire strategy for our wedding venue was wedding venue Philadelphia, wedding venues Philadelphia, yeah, like literally it was like these type of keywords. It was these type of keywords. And then what we would do is over time, we would look at the results and start to add in keywords to our negative keyword list. So then we would add things like worst, cheap, affordable, small. It was not a small wedding venue. We would add things like man, people would look up like catering, photography, DJ. Because think about it. Someone might be looking for wedding venues Philadelphia DJ, photographer, wedding venues Philadelphia catering. But I don't want to show up for that. So we would start to build our list of negative keywords to block Google from showing our ad when people search for that. So in a perfect world, you guys have a huge list of negative keywords and a list of phrase match keywords. So let's do an example. Let's see. Someone give me an example, a niche. Modelers. Okay. Turbocharging. Med spa. Marcus, you pick.
Let's go with home remodeling, the first one.
All right. Let's see.
Aquarium. Oh God.
All right. You said remodeling?
Yeah. DJing.
What type of remodeling? Like kitchen remodeling?
Sure, let's do kitchen remodeling.
All right. So if I put in kitchen remodeling, these people are bidding on anything with these keywords, right? Let's see what I would probably do. And we'll talk about there's a big twist on this that I'll bring up in just a sec. Let me actually like scroll down. Kitchen remodeling. Okay. Like you guys could literally just start with this to keep it again, I'm not a big fan of going crazy, making sure every single keyword, it's kind of like the 80-20 with ads. Have a good offer, do really good creative, have good copy. That's the 80-20, not the targeting and this and that. I don't really care. I want to keep it simple. So kitchen remodeling. You start off with this. And what's going to happen is you start bidding on these keywords. And over time, you start to see what people are searching for. Because Google will show you, hey, these are the results of what you've been bidding on. And then you would have a negative keyword list. So cheap, affordable, DIY, do it yourself. Because I guarantee you someone's searching DIY kitchen remodeling. What are some other things we probably don't want to show up for? Free. Good one. What else? I already did cheap. What else? Inspiration. Great. That's a fantastic one. Paul's key. That's a great one. It's like you would show up for a kitchen. If you're in Denver looking for kitchen remodeling, now you're showing up for a kitchen remodeling inspiration, right? Ideas, tutorial. Love it. Now here's the thing. You're not going to be able to predict every single negative keyword. What's going to happen is Google is going to start to show you all the searches that you've been showing up for, and then you can start to build this out. And then over time, once you've done this for like 5 clients and maybe for like 12 months for 5 clients, you'll know exactly what to cut out. And what's really nice is now we're telling Google, hey, do not show up for this, but show up for these keywords and anything that will go before and after that. Because the problem is if you do exact match, if you guys do exact match and you tell Google, hey, I only want to show up for these exact keywords, you're going to be missing out on variations of those. So someone might be looking for top rated kitchen remodeler Denver. So if you 5-star kitchen remodeler Denver, but if you only have the exact match, you're missing out on that. So the idea is like, how do we protect the downside, but still let Google do its thing and show us to as many people as possible related to the main keywords that we've put in quotations. Estimate could be good. You know, that might be a like kitchen remodeler remodeling estimate. Like maybe that'll bring good traffic. Guys, does this make sense? Broad match, phrase match, exact match. This is where most people mess up Google. Everything else after this, if you understand this, becomes easy. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. I'm trying to keep it as simple as humanly possible. You do not paper show. Let's see. I'll go over everything else technical next time. If you guys don't understand this, I could be showing you all the back end stuff and you're still wasting money. I have no idea how Bing works. I've never done it. Maybe it's the same. I've never done it though, so I can't speak to that. Cool. Is everyone clear on this? So the game is to figure out what are the main keywords that people are searching for, and then let Google do its thing to add words before and after, and then write a whole list of negative keywords to block Google from showing your ad for searches that you don't want to show up for. All right, let's do another example. And then let's move on to the location, because that kind of changes a few things. That's kind of the last thing I'll talk about today. All right, now let's say that I look for, let's see, dog washing. I like that one. Dog washing in the city, Denver, washer. Cool. We could start with that, see what, and what I would tell your clients, by the way, is at the beginning, it's going to be more expensive. Because at the beginning, again, I'm letting Google, I want to feed Google too, right? I want to feed Google, let it do its thing. And then once you've done this enough times, you'll know, like your 100th, your 50th client that you've done this for is going to get way better results right out of the gate, because you'll know exactly what campaign to build out, what keywords you should have, what keywords you shouldn't have, so on and so forth. So dog washing Denver, dog washing, dog washer, Denver. And then I create a list of negative keywords. And I will look for things like cheap, let's see, dog washing, not sashing, washing. Ooh, look, interesting. Station, self-serve. You probably don't want, let's say you don't want that. So let's say we don't want self-serve. So we don't want a station. Boom, that's perfect. So those are things that I didn't even know about. Let's see. Brush, sink, machine. And it seems like if I put dog washing, whoops. It seems like if I put dog washing, what happens is it actually brings up a lot of things to do it by yourself. So I probably actually get rid of those keywords and only do dog washer, or do dog washing Denver, you know, something very clear where someone is looking to go to this place for getting their dog washed. We could even maybe do dog grooming. So that's a good one. You see the kind of results we're getting, a lot better. So we'll add dog grooming. Grooming. Denver. Cool. We start to build this out. Now here's the plot twist. I like to have two types of campaigns. A near me campaign and a wider campaign. Okay. So now we're going to actually take, because here's the thing. If I put a 5-mile radius, now I could bid for dog washer near me. Whereas if I put let's say a statewide, we could even do citywide, like a 25-mile radius. If they look up dog washer near me, the problem is that they might be way too far away. But what happens if this is the point I'm trying to make? Again, this is going to be a powerful lesson for you guys. So try to wrap your heads around this. Let's say that I'm in the city. Okay. Let's say that I'm in the city. I work in the city, but my house is in the suburbs. I work in the city, my house in the suburbs. I'm at work in the city. I'm at work in the city. And I look up dog grooming near me. But I'm really thinking about my house. I want a dog groomer near my house. The problem is that now I'm going to be spending money for anything near me within that 25-mile radius, and people are not going to want that. So I have a very close, tight campaign for within 5 miles, where it's like you could even do it within a mile or 2 or 3, depending on the city. But it's like, hey, 5 miles, anyone searching for certain things is going to show up. And then I have a wider one where people can be in the city. So you can be all the way in the city, but you're going to have to say, hey, I want to show up for dog groomer Boulder, Colorado. So now it includes the city, so that if I'm out of the city, but I'm still searching for it because I'm at work and I have to do this today, I still show up. So I'll give you guys an example because this is important. You want to have two types of campaigns. You want to have a near me campaign and you want to have a wider campaign. So for example, with a wedding venue, I had a campaign within it was like actually 25 miles. And we actually had 3 campaigns. Let me statewide, or sorry, city, nationwide. This is kind of taking it one step further, but this is how we did it. We had one campaign that was for people looking within 5 miles, for people looking within Philadelphia, so it was 25 miles, and then nationwide. Because, for example, someone might be looking for a wedding venue, right? And they're out of state. So for example, I live in Colorado. I got married in Philadelphia, right? There's people that are looking for things outside of the state, outside of the city. So 5 miles, 25 miles, and nationwide. So for 5 miles, it would be like wedding venue near me, because people are literally thinking right here. Within 25 miles, I could do wedding venue Philadelphia. I could also do like wedding venue Pennsylvania. I could open it up a little bit. And this one could be kind of the same. And then nationwide, I want to make it so that it includes the actual city very obviously, so that if someone is looking for a wedding venue outside of the state, you could still show up, even if you're in California, right? So if you're looking for an attorney in Miami, but you're actually in Colorado, you can have a campaign where you tell it, hey, I want to run this nationwide. So anyone looking for a lawyer in Miami, I want to show up, but they have to type in Miami, right? So you can kind of play with the keywords a little bit based on the radius. right? So for 5 miles, you could have a wedding venue near me campaign. 25 miles, it's like wedding venue near me, that might be tricky. You know, so you might want to include the city, and then same goes for nationwide. For the nationwide campaign, that's where maybe I would do an exact match campaign, where it's like, that's where I might do wedding venue, Philadelphia. That way I don't waste money. So it's like anyone searching for this exact keyword anywhere in the United States, I'll show up, but they have to be searching for that exact keyword. So the last kind of tweak to this is you can play with the radius to also determine the types of keywords you want to bid on. So again, I recommend everyone to have kind of a right then and there a near me campaign and a wider campaign. So if I'm looking for chiropractors, you would have a 5 mile radius and you would bid on chiropractor near me. But on the 25 mile campaign, I don't want to bid on that keyword because someone 25 miles out, I don't want to pay when someone searches for chiropractor near me and they're 25 miles out, but I will pay for chiropractor Miami, chiropractor let's see, Miami, Florida. So now anyone within a 25 mile campaign that searches for these things, I'm going to show up for those keywords. You could also have a statewide campaign. This is where you can kind of mess with the location. But to start, I would just have a very tight near me campaign and a slightly wider, let's call it a city campaign. Make sense? Wedding venues is a very tough niche because it's hard to get in touch with the decision makers. A lot of the time it's real estate investors who are just using it. They're just taking the property and repositioning it as a wedding venue to get some cash flow. So I think it's a tough one. Let's see. Is there a certain number of keywords that is optimal? I like to start, again, very simple and let Google kind of feed you the results. You guys don't need to start with these crazy long lists. You guys can keep it really simple. I would maybe start with 5 to 10 keywords. And then think about all the negative keywords that you could come up with. And then let Google tell you, hey, these keywords you're showing up for, these keywords you're not, and go from there. I would never do broad match. I would only do phrase. I would literally just recommend you guys to start with phrase match. So for example, let's go back to kitchen remodeling. Let's actually just break down what I would do. I would do a 5 mile radius and then maybe like a 25, maybe even like maybe like 50 mile campaign. Okay, so let's say I'm doing kitchen remodeling. This one is a tricky, by the way, because people are going to be looking a lot for like do-it-yourself, things like that. So this is one where the negative keyword list is going to be very important. Again, look how I'm doing this. Within the 5 mile radius, I'm not even putting the city. I'm not putting the city because I know they're right there. So maybe kitchen remodeling company. Kitchen remodeling. Contractors. What are stores? Or maybe stores. Okay, this is going to be 5 mile radius. The 50 mile campaign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these keywords and I'm going to add every single city that I want to show up for. So Denver. Actually, let's do like Miami. Well, I'm going to actually kill these near me. So Take this, do it again. It's another city near Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Sunny Isles, Coral Gables. All right. I would maybe even add kitchen remodeling. I would maybe do this for like the top 5 cities. And then, maybe do it for like 2 or 3 more cities. And I would spend a lot of time on that negative keyword list. Like, I don't want to show up for anything of people wanting to do this on their own. Cheap, affordable, do it yourself. Let's see. Friends, app, ideas. Let's take those out. What shows up for cost? I probably wouldn't even want to show up for cost, to be honest. Showrooms, that could be interesting. Sure, we could add that. Okay, so let's kind of evaluate this. Kitchen remodeling showroom. Within a 5 miles, anyone that searches for any of these keywords with anything before or after, I'm going to show up for, as long as it's not these words. So if any of these words are also in that search, I'm not paying. If someone looks up best kitchen remodeler near me, top kitchen remodeler near me, best kitchen remodeler, I'm showing up. And you guys can maybe this one's a little bit risky. These all have very clear buying intents. Kitchen remodeling company, I'm looking for a company. Kitchen remodeling showroom, I'm looking for a showroom. Contractors, I'm looking for a contractor. Stores, I'm looking for a store. Near me, I'm looking for one near me. These are very clear, hey, I want this. Whereas kitchen remodeling or kitchen remodeler, that just tells Google you're looking for a kitchen remodeler. That one's a little risky. I would probably mess with it, have it in there, but this one is kind of like a little iffy because you might show up for a lot of different things. But the only time you're going to show up is if someone searches for that within a 5 mile radius. Then I would have probably like a 50-mile campaign because, again, you have to think about your niche. Are people with kitchen remodelers? You could ask your client, how far are you willing to drive? And what cities would you serve? Let's say that they tell you they're willing to drive 75 miles. Okay, we'll make that 75 miles. And you would type in all the different cities. And that's pretty much it. So now anyone that looks up kitchen remodeler Fort Lauderdale, I'm showing up. Anyone that looks up kitchen remodeler Miami, kitchen remodeling company Miami, kitchen remodeling showroom Miami, I'm showing up. Unless they put cheap, bad, scam, whatever you want, affordable, do it yourself. free, trends, then I don't show up. Cool. Paul asked, how often should you be checking the results? Once a day, a week? Depends how much you're spending. At the beginning, do it a lot. But once you crack it for like 2 or 3 clients, you don't need to be, you know, pretty much what people are going to be searching for. And you could just upload the negative keyword list ready to go. So maybe once a day to start, eventually maybe once every few days or once a week. How often do you look at the data to change or add keywords? Again, at the beginning, probably daily. As you scale, not so much. Does Google autocorrect for grammar mistakes? I'm not sure. I think they do. I think they also, whether it's plural or grammar mistakes, you still show up. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. Anyone have success with Facebook ads for plumbers? I think Google and SEO for plumbers probably will make more sense. Because again, plumber is not something that you're like, ooh, I want this. I want to drain my sewer. You don't really think that, even if you see a great ad for it. Even if I literally told you, hey, free sewer drainage, you'd be like, cool, I'm not signing up. You need to have a need. So guys, that's keywords and the overall high level. We'll go into the specifics next week.
All right, guys, welcome to day 2 of the 3-day Google Ads course. Hopefully you guys enjoyed day 1. And now for day 2, we're actually going to go into the Google Ads platform and show you a live campaign from a real business that we've spent tens of thousands of dollars on to generate leads for them. And this is no longer theory or application. We're actually going to show you the entire account and break everything down. And not only that, because we're also going to build out a brand new campaign from scratch. You're literally going to watch us click on the buttons step by step, build out the entire campaign, the targeting, the keywords, the ads, everything. That being said, let's dive in. How you guys feeling? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're feeling good.
Awesome.
Ready to go. Show some love and let's dive in.
So the Google account that I'm going to use today, some of you guys might be familiar with the company. It's the largest plumbing franchise in the United States. It's Roto-Rooter. They were a client of mine for quite a while, and it's a good study for you guys to show how Google actually works. Let me blow my screen up. Kind of give a little overview of the structure, and then I'll answer the #1 question that everyone always asks me about Google Ads before we dive any deeper. But basically, I had multiple locations for this this franchise owner. He owns several Roto-Rooters that we run in ads for. So each
Can
one
you
of
explain
these,
what a Roto-Rooter is?
yeah, it's a plumbing company.
Got it. So this is this campaign is for plumbing companies, and just to break it down, you are building out different campaigns based on the cities.
Yes, correct. And then there is on-call hours, which is after hours, and then there's day hours. So because they went to 2 different answering machines, so that's why they're set up like this. So you're gonna see 2 for each, and then day hours, on-call hours, and then 1 for the city. So that's the structure, and then I'll break it down for you. All right, so the #1 question I get is, how much should I be spending on this, right? And everyone's like, oh, well, my lead cost is $10, but the client wants to get 100 leads a month, and I'm only able to generate 20 leads. Can I get to 100 leads? In most cases, with smaller niches, the answer is no, and I'm going to show you why. So there's 3 things that you can go into the columns and add. That's search impression share, search lost is to budget, and search lost is to rank. Now, what does this mean? Unlike Facebook that uses impression shares, Google has to have search volume behind it for the click to happen, right? There's not an unlimited amount of people that you can show a keyword to, because they have to actively be searching it in Google for your keyword to pop up on an ad. which means that search volume is limited. You add in competition and it gets even lower, right? So your actual number of clicks possible in a month is capped no matter where you're at with Google Ads. So just because you're getting leads at $10 and you get 50 of them doesn't mean that you can get 100 leads at $10. You might spend $20 for the same lead trying to increase your budget.
Again,
And
with Google Ads, guys, they're going to be higher intent because these people are actively looking for a plumber. But you're limited to the number of people actively looking for a plumber on any given day. So especially if you're in a small city, it's going to be hard. And by the way, we covered this on part 1. We talked about when Google Ads work really well, when they don't work really well, what kind of things are going to affect the results. And again, keep in mind, if you're in a very small city where there's very little search volume for the services that you offer, don't expect to generate hundreds of leads. It's impossible. If only, I don't know, a few people a day search for certain keywords that you're bidding on, let's say a handful, 5 people a day, you're competing for 5 searches. It's going to be tough. So for example, people look for dentists all the time. People look for barbershop all the time. You go to a city, you're like, I need a barber. Cool. There's a lot of search volume. People look for gyms all the time. That being said, a specific type of plumbing service that only a few people ever have to deal with. Or let me give you a better example. My basement flooded last year. If I look up water damage restoration company, there's just going to be less than people looking for a gym. Not saying there won't be. There's people that flood their basements, but it's not as many as people actively looking for a gym. How many people do you guys know that signed up for a gym? Pretty much most of the people that you know have a gym membership. How many people do you know that flooded their basement? Not that many. So, and then also, if you're in a small city where there's only 5,000 people, it's going to be tough. Out of those 5,000, how many are looking for a water damage restoration company on any given time? So
hopefully we did a good job explaining that. If you guys have questions.
Brandon, one last thing. And then, I covered this last time, but the hyper competitive niches, like if you're bidding for personal injury attorney, car accident attorney, it's just going to be very expensive. It's not that it doesn't work, but just know that it's not like Facebook or Instagram where you can just create a better offer. The way that Google ads work is that you're bidding for the same keyword and the ads are all pretty much the same. So if that is the case, it becomes a bidding war. Who's willing to spend the most to show up for those keywords? And if you're in a very competitive niche, it can get really hard. So just wanted to throw that out there.
So I'm going to show you how to know if you're wasting money and just increasing your lead cost with these 3 metrics. So search impression share, it says, is the impressions you received on Google search sites, right? Divided by the estimated number of impressions you were eligible to receive. All right. Which basically means out of 10 searches, you showed up for X percentage. So right here, I can see that we're popping up in about 50% of the search volume. Okay. But because of my budget, I'm not losing any of the search volume due to my budget that I'm trying to spend per day, which means that I am 100% eligible to be in 100% of the auctions every single day. Okay. So if my lead cost is here, is whatever this looks like, $360 for that lead from this, for the on-call hours, which by the way, on-call is more expensive. Then if I increase my budget to get more leads, I'm not doing anything but raising my cost per click and raising the cost per lead, right? If my campaign's doing good, I don't want to lose any search volume to budget. All right. This also tells me that I'm maxed out on the budget and I don't need to increase the budget. So I don't increase my lead cost, my cost per click, right? So then it comes to the third thing here, which is your search loss due to rank. And there's a couple factors that go into this. Ad position, your click-through rate and your conversion rate on your landing page, how well Google scores your ads. Because remember, guys, if your click-through rate is 10%, that means Google is going to make a lot of money from you. They're going to rank your ad very high, and you're going to get more search impression share. But this is very hard to bring down to even 20%. So I like to run around 50% of search losses to rank, because otherwise I got to do SEO and all this other stuff on the page and a lot of conversion rate optimization to bring this down. This is the hardest one to bring down out of the two. The easiest one is to just max your budget out per keyword, per campaign, and then optimize inside of KPIs and to roll forward, right? Which brings me to the next thing, bid strategy type, which is the second most question that I get. Brandon, which one should I start with? And I'll show you guys examples of this in just a minute. So I always start with max clicks, because if I can hit my KPIs that I'm going for the company with max clicks, I'm going to get the most amount of lead volume that I can get for that client. If I cannot hit my KPIs with max clicks, I will move to target CPA, maximum conversions, right? Which essentially just lowers your cost per click bids for you so that you can try to hit your leads within the goal that you have set for that company. Does that make sense? Everyone following? I don't want to confuse anyone. So always start with max clicks, because you're going to get cheaper clicks, more volume through to test your landing page, and then move over to maximum conversions if you can't hit your KPIs. Now, when you move over to your maximum conversions, say that clicks is not working for you. Until you get about 20 or 30 conversions, it's not going to optimize. So you're still going to be high. And this is a perfect example of this, because if we come over, we can see that most of these calls were costing between $60 and $100, which is great for plumbers. But when I first started this campaign, they were, the first month, they were like 190. Second month, they dropped down to like 130. Third month, they dropped down to where I needed them to be. And I didn't do anything but let the pixel optimize itself. All right. So Google Ads is a much longer play. Facebook, you can optimize in 7 days. Google Ads, minimum 30 days for the pixel to even start to optimize. All right. That's very important when you sell these services. When I sell Google services, I tell them the first month is just a wash. It's just to collect data. If they don't have any data in the account, it's a wash, so that they understand how it works. I think that's a good explanation of the overview here.
Yeah, let's get into the actual campaigns, because I think that the walkthrough of building it out is going to help clarify a lot.
Yeah. So let me hop into the day hours here on this one. It's a good example. All right. So when we look at the way we structured out our ad sets, you can see the conversion rates over here, guys. Like, these are really good conversion rates for Google ad campaign. And I'm running mainly call only ads, because plumbing is an emergency service. No one wants to submit a form and wait for someone to call them back. They're going to click and they're going to call. The first person that answers that call is going to get the job, right? So when you're running emergency service calls, you're going to pay a little bit more per click, but you're going to get calls directly into the business that you can track. Those always turn into appointments. They always turn into revenue. This is how you easily get results for emergency services through Google Ads. I mean, you can see almost 1 out of every 3 clicks turns into a call into the business. This was really profitable campaign. So I break it into plumbing, drain cleaning, water heaters, and competitors. So you don't have to get super granular. Like, you don't have to go main line drain cleaning, kitchen drain cleaning. Like, you can put drain cleaning in just a group, and it'll still get you quite a bit of conversions. And if you want to split out further from there, you can. But you just want to generalize basically what you're having people search for in a group, so that your landing page can match that grouping to get a better ad score, right? And you also want to get Like you don't want someone searching for like water heater replacement and then you drop them on a drain cleaning page with like a $99 drain offer, right? It's not going to convert well. So the biggest thing with Google Ads is building a landing page that matches each keyword grouping. Does that make sense? So you like think about it in shoes. You don't want someone looking for a Nike shoes to land on an Adidas shoe page because they're going to instantly bounce and you wasted that click. Google Ads takes a long time to optimize and build like a system around, but once you have it, it is consistent. So I would build a landing page for plumbing, drain cleaning, water heaters, and competitors. And guys, all I do is duplicate the landing page inside of Go HighLevel or whatever I'm using and change the headlines up on the top to match whatever keywords I'm using in the ads. It doesn't have to be like a brand new landing page. You just need to match that first above the fold to whatever it is they're searching for. All right. So if you hop into plumbing, this is very important for local lead gen.
We talked
And
about phrase
guys-
match.
Huh?
We already talked about phrase match and exact match.
Yeah, just don't use broad until you're really seasoned at Google Ads. Just don't use it. Save yourself the money. Phrase match, exact match. It's all you should use when you're doing local services.
Yeah, we
So you
talked.
can
We broke that all down last week.
Yeah, cool.
Or
So,
last time, last master
so
class.
you can see what Joel was teaching you is the same thing. You only use phrase match, exact match. And then you can cut and make moves depending on what's working, what's not working. Guys, so I want to give a quick context because you can see like you're probably wondering, Brandon, why do you have this keyword on? It's at $316. If any of you that are running home service ads, if they use Service Titan or House Call Pro, these numbers will attribute inside of Service Titan and House Call Pro like it does inside of HighRose. And you can see the ROI per keyword that comes in with the call. The ROI for plumbing service near me was insanely massive, and they were willing to pay the $300 per lead that came from it. Okay, so that's a very big part if you can track leads that far to attribute down to the job amount, average ticket. It might make sense to pay that much per lead for that keyword. All right. So I just want to give a quick rundown on that. Obviously, you want to get as leads as cheap as possible. But you can see like not everything is just plumber and then things following it. And did you go through, Joel, did you go through like search terms and negative keyword lists and things like that?
We went through search terms. We went through negative keyword lists. We didn't go through the actual ads.
Like, what do you mean, the ad itself?
Yeah, the copy that's showing up when
All right,
people
cool.
search
So
it.
we'll hop into that since you guys covered this.
And then
All right.
again, afterwards, let's build a campaign. I think that'll be a lot easier for people.
Yeah. All right. So here's a tip. You have to build out a text ad, and then a call only ad if you want it to work right. Otherwise, it'll lump them together and won't get the same effect. So you can see call ad, responsive search ad. See, I cut that off pretty fast. 40% conversion rate, guys, with the $80 cost per lead. That's really good for plumbing. All right, so you can just see it's a basic call ad. Here's the landing page. And then here's the actual ad. Now, I had some restrictions with Roto-Rooter as a franchise, so I couldn't do what you would normally do, but you can add what's called a dynamic headline that's going to give you a big boost. And let me see if it will. I can actually show it to you when we build the ad so you guys can see it. But basically, whatever someone search, it'll put it into the ad, which gives you a higher click-through rate and a higher ad ranking. So I'll show you guys how to do that. But you can see the ad is real basic.
That's dope. I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, and you can do it with location too. So if you're targeting a host state, you can put the location of where they're searching from.
It's amazing.
So you got plumbers as just the, plumbinghelp.pro. I couldn't use Roto-Rooter's franchise page, so that was a little bit of a pain. But you can see very basic plumbing and drain cleaning, emergency services open 24/7. Roto-Rooter is the business name, and then description is Roto-Rooter plumbing and emergency drain cleaning, water damage, and water heaters. So nothing crazy, guys. Very, very basic ad. But again,
what I like to put in the headline is essentially, like you said, restating what people search for. So when I did the wedding venue ads for my family's business, what would people search? Philadelphia wedding venue. So then the ad said, #1 Philadelphia wedding venue, or best Philadelphia wedding venue, or hidden gem Philadelphia wedding venue. Like that's all the ad would say in terms of the headline. And then the actual copy, I would just list out some benefits. So like, full catering and wedding planning, blah, 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 beautiful designs, customized for your needs. You just drop some benefits. So if you're, let's say, a CrossFit gym and you're doing Google ads and you're typing in from Miami, you would type in #1 Miami CrossFit gym as the ad. And then in the benefits, you'd be like, let's see, what are the benefits of a CrossFit gym? Maybe they have cold plunges and saunas. You could be like cold plunges and saunas available, group classes, open gym time, 24/7 access on weekends. I don't know. You'd have to figure out all the benefits and list them out in the description. You also ideally want to list out some of the services that people are looking for. So if people are looking for a plumber, you write out some of the different services. So
yep,
pretty
he's
much it.
exactly right. If you guys have been on my B2B calls or anything, you hear me talk about congruency of the ad, which is what Joel was breaking down. Guys, whatever they're
Wait,
searching.
really, really important, Brandon. So one more thing. Pete asked, would you not put the headline like an offer? Here's the thing with, you can do offers on Google ads, but what I found works best. People know what they're looking for, and just matching what they're looking for to the ad is going to get you the best response more than having a crazy offer. Them feeling like, okay, this is exactly what I need, or this is exactly what I'm looking for. Getting that alignment is going to do more for the conversion than, oh, they have a crazy offer, let me go with them. So for example, let's say someone looks up affordable dental implants. You could have crazy offers all around that. You could do financing, $3,000 off of dental implants. But at the end of the day, if you say #1 dental implant dentist, Philadelphia, for affordable implants, they're like, this is what I want. That I've seen works best than just having some crazy offer.
Yeah, and what Joel was saying, they're already searching. It's intent based, right? Like no one's looking for the cheapest plumber when their basement's filling with sewage. They're looking for the fastest plumber.
Fastest and the best is what I've noticed. Yeah. So like, and if they are looking for the cheapest, and by the way, side note, last time we talked about, I would put affordable and cheap in the negative keyword list so that you don't even show up for that. But let's say that someone is looking for the most affordable, even just matching that and them feeling like, oh, this is what I'm looking for, will do more than just showing them that it's affordable through an offer.
Yep.
So even though you could show them that it's affordable through like a $99 a month offer or whatever the price is, or $2,000 off, even though you're showing them that that's affordable, just saying it's affordable and them feeling like this is exactly what they're looking for is going to do more for the conversion.
Yep. And this is a call only ad, so I don't have as much space to do as much as when we build out like a normal text ad. I'll show you. But these are even more simple, guys. Like you just want to match exactly what they're looking for. Like with emergency services, it's really super simple just to match exactly what it is that they're looking for. And then that'll get you the highest click-through rate, basically, which is what the goal is.
So like, let's say someone looks up emergency dentist near me, chipped tooth. Let's say someone looks that up. Your headline could be #1 emergency dentist blank city, Philadelphia. And then in the description, you could put chipped teeth you know, and all the different emergency things that people would experience with their teeth, you know, bleeding gums. I don't know. I don't know the different emergency services like broken tooth. Um, and that way people look that up. They're like, cool, I'm looking for an emergency dentist. They do chipped teeth. This is what I'm looking for. Click. Pete, does
Yeah.
that help? All right.
And then, so this is a text ad, and the difference is you get more headline options. So this is what I was talking about, dynamic. And the way you do this, so this is basically keyword plus location. It gives you a lot of variations for your ad strength, but the way you do it is you hit a squiggly bracket, and you can do keyword insertion, location insertion, or countdown insertion to an event. I've never used countdown, but I use location and keyword insertion. But what this essentially means is no matter what anyone searches, it will put it in your ad as long as it will fit. And then you give it a title case of just a default. If it doesn't work and it triggers, it'll just put your default keyword in there. So, you could just put plumber near you or something, right? Just the default, and you would hit apply. And then if you want to do the same thing, you can actually add a location to it. You do city, state, or country. And then, let's just say that you were in Dallas. So if it doesn't pull like Addison or some, different cities inside, it'll just default to Dallas because you live in that area. So this is a really good way to cover a lot of keywords and variations just using dynamic keyword insertion in your ad headline. So, but I think that kind of covers the overview, and we can build one together.
Do you want to talk about like site links, things like that to take up
Yeah,
more space or not really?
Yeah. So I don't actually use I'll use site links in images sometimes, but not a lot. There's a whole bunch of stuff they've added in here. But
Here's
guys,
what I would do, guys. This is what I did. I would fill, so site links, for example, it's like an about us page, a contact us page, an offer page, special offer page. You can add in all of these URLs, and what will happen is your ad will be filled in with more information, and it takes up more real estate on Google. It's just going to be a bigger ad. So like I would add as much of this as humanly possible. Images, business name, business logo, and the site links. And I would add a bunch of site links based on how many pages your client has. And again, the idea is it's going to be a much more full ad. And the theory is that the more real estate, the more noticeable it'll be.
Yeah.
Ideally. I don't think that makes a huge difference, by the way, but I think even if it improves it by 5 to 10%, it's worth it.
Yeah, I look at it as Google's very good at driving clicks and spending your click dollars. So I like to make sure I'm sending them to stuff that can convert as a lead. That's why I don't use the site links a lot unless I'm doing like e-commerce. I can send them to different pages, but I don't want someone costing me $37 to read my about page.
I mean, you could also just send them to one funnel.
Yeah. You can do that too. You just got to do redirects because Google's smart.
Guys, one more thing. With Google, it's more about making sure you're not fucking up than making sure you're doing things right. So again, it's more about making sure you're not doing things wrong than making sure you're doing things right, because Google will be very quick to spend your money. So like last time we talked about having negative keywords. So all the words for that essentially will block you from showing up when someone looks up those words. Having all these things in place, all these little details is what makes the difference. That's the 10 to 20% difference that will make a campaign very profitable. So,
and Google can spend 2x your budget per day. So just keep that in mind. And then your tracking template, guys, this is where you put your UTM codes. And if you want a custom parameter like image and then, the name of your image so it matches. or, you know, whatever you put it here, so you can track it, which ad it comes from. We like to do, if we have multiple ads, we'll do ad plus the number, and then we'll say like headline test 2 or something, so we can see where the conversions are coming from. But all right, so I think about that is enough from there. All right,
What
so
niche do you want to build for?
I'm just gonna build it in the same account.
That's
So
fine, but what niche do you want to build for?
doesn't matter. Let's get
Gyms?
one from chat. Yeah, we can get we can do gyms. Gyms is I think gyms have a lot of keywords. No. Yeah. YouTube ad examples.
You could do med spas too.
We could do med spas. Yeah, I'll go through the process.
All right,
All
let's
right.
do it. Start a new
So
campaign.
I don't know anything about med spas. All
That's
right.
great. Let's challenge ourselves.
So I'll show you exactly.
Let's do a basic campaign. We'll do like,
Yeah.
let's just do like med spa near me type of keywords, and then let's do like one service.
Okay. So I don't know anything about med spas, so I'm gonna hop into my keyword planner to get an idea of where I can build out my groupings, right? I'm gonna discover new keywords. I'm just gonna use the entire United States just so I can get an idea. And I'm just going to type in med spas or med spa services.
I think 2 words.
Is it 2 words? Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put in variations. And again, I don't know anything about med spas, so I've never done this for med spas, and I just want to see what people are searching for, right? You can search by average monthly searches because this is what matters for your scale, and it's going to give me an idea of what my click cost is going to be. So right off the bat, I like this. Competition is low. $1.86 a click if I got a good ad score. That's super cheap. That means I can get like 40
Let's
clicks.
go.
You know, so super easy, right? Like this, to me, this is a home run. Is medical
Scroll down.
spa. Yep, go ahead.
No, scroll down just so I could keep seeing. What's really interesting, guys, is like I would have never thought to put medical spa, med spa, but people are searching medical spa. So like those are the little differences.
Right off the bat, people are looking for Latina or Spanish med spa, so that could be a little sub niche if you got some Spanish clients.
Can you also do a search for like a one of the services? I know one of the services is like
chirotherapy, right?
cryotherapy. No, it's cryo. CRYO. Cryotherapy.
One word.
I don't know. Let's just do both. Cryo.
All right.
Yeah, or
so
Botox. Sure.
We can do Botox too. Botox is huge.
Yeah,
so
write that down. Botox.
Botox services.
All right, let's see what people are searching.
So chirotherapy, even better, 165,000 searches per month across the US. And we're looking at 95 cents to $3 click, low competition for chirotherapy.
Let's go. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Did you get anything
So-
for Botox?
Botox, did it pull? Some stuff, I wonder if Botox is,
Someone wrote wart freeze off. That sounds disgusting.
no, we're not doing that. I don't want to build it.
Sounds disgusting.
We can kind of, there we go. Okay, Botox, 165,000 searches per, but look at this. $3 to $100 a click. I'm out. I'm not bidding on that one. Like, I know that no one wants to pay $100 for a Botox click. And what Joel was saying, it's more important to have the little details right than doing it right, because if you don't have the details right, that's when you pay $100 per click.
Exactly. Here, look up personal injury attorney. Get rid of
All right.
all those.
So
This
have
is
a lot
just as a side note.
let's just see.
Or car accident lawyer.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right, check it.
All right, look at the cost per click. You see how this is per click,
It's per click,
not
not
per
per
lead. So people would be willing to spend $300 for a click. So again, it's not that it doesn't work. You're just gonna, but the way that Google works is that it's kind of like what are those things where people are bidding on art or on things? You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Where people raise their like $500.
An auction.
Oh, an
Auction.
auction. That's
It's
exactly what an
Google
auction
Ads is an auction. So what happens is now you're essentially competing with everyone for the same keywords, and whoever's willing to spend the most in the auction is going to show up higher. So if a lot of people are willing to raise their little flag or whatever and spend a lot, it's going to drive up the cost a ton.
Yeah.
I think we just go with let's go with cryotherapy and med spa for now and just make those keywords.
Yeah, so just around like my just my thought process here, if I'm looking at this, I'm gonna have 3 ad sets. I'm gonna have a Botox ad set, a cryotherapy ad set, and a med spa ad set. Right.
You
And
don't
that's
wanna
gonna
do
be my
Botox,
initial
right?
campaign. Huh?
It's too expensive, so maybe we find another treatment.
It's $5 to $28 here if Botox near me. So I would stay away from Botox by itself. Because I would just go with something more like this. But if you, I'm just explaining.
Try lip filler.
Lip filler.
Yeah, someone suggested that.
Did I spell that right?
Yep.
Is it lip treatment or lip filler?
I don't know. Let's see.
110. Oh, here we go. Lip filler lips. That's weird. Lip fillers near me. Lip augmentation near me. Cost per click's not bad. $2 to $6.
Yeah, let's do that one. Lip filler and lip augmentation.
And guys, for my thought process, if you have intent-based searches, your landing page should be converting between 10 and 20%. So I just always will take the highest number times 5. So I'm like, okay, on the high side, I'll pay $35 a lead.
By the way, ideally, you also have a different landing page for each thing. So if you're doing a Botox ad set, don't send them to a page that says lip filler. Although I think that's the same thing. But let's say you're doing the cryotherapy. Yeah, so if you're doing cryotherapy ad set, don't send them to a lip filler page. If people are searching for med spa, don't send them to a cryotherapy page. Send them to a med spa page with a bunch of the services on there. So keep that in mind. Like, again, what Pete said earlier is the offer the thing that makes the biggest difference? And it's actually not. It's congruency throughout the whole search process. Is I want this thing. This is the result that shows me that I'm going to get this thing. And then the landing page is also showing this thing. And if you can have congruency throughout, people are going to be like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. That's whereas on Facebook and Instagram, you want people to say, holy shit, that's amazing. I want to try that out. I want to claim that. I want to sign up for that. It's more like a wow factor. With this, you just want them to feel like this is exactly what I'm looking for. That's the feeling you want to give people. Not, wow, this is unbelievable. That's not the feeling you want to give people. The feeling you want to give people is, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yep, 100%. You just match up congruency and you don't have to put an offer on Google Ads. So, all right. So we'll do Chiro, Med Spa, and lip filler. All right.
Or cryo, yeah. Keep calling it cryo.
Is it Chiro? It's
Cryo. Yeah, cryo.
Cryo. Med Spa and lip filler.
Or is it cryo? I don't know. Hold on. Let me.
Dude, I don't know.
One
But
second.
there's a lot. All right. So we'll hop in to here. So we're going to select leads. And then right now, these don't matter, but this is actually very important. You only want to give Google one conversion goal to optimize around, but it will put all of your account default goals in each campaign when you build it. So you need to go in manually and give it one goal. I'll show you how to do that at the end. But for now, this is fine.
What are we doing? We're not doing phone call ads, are we? Are we doing?
No, I
Landing
would do,
page?
I always, for local services, I always do phone call and
Really?
yeah, always.
All
All
right,
right.
I'm gonna just disagree on that one, but it's good,
Yeah,
right?
you,
It's good to
well,
have
yeah.
different perspectives. Personally, guys, I like the landing page. People are looking, and hold on, there's an example. Hopefully, this doesn't throw you guys off too much. What services do you just want to get on the phone and talk to someone? Plumbers,
Mhm.
have an emergency. I just need to talk to a fucking doctor. My heater is, let's say it's winter time, my heater stops working. I don't care about your website. I just want to talk to an HVAC. For those, I would want to do phone call ads. But when you're in a niche where people want to check out the website first, like let's say you're going to go for a stem cell treatment or a med spa treatment, I actually want to see if this is the med spa that I want to go to before I actually call them. So you can still do call ads, or sorry, you can still have a phone number on the landing page. And we can even talk about how to track it back so that you're tracking the phone calls coming in. But again, a med spa, if I'm looking for like a treatment, I want to see the website first before I decide, hey, this is the med spa that I want to call. So I did want to throw that out there. Like for the wedding venue that I'm still running their ads years later for my family. Our website, our landing page outperformed call ads. Because when people are looking for a wedding venue, they're not like, I got to make a fucking call right away. They're like, let me see if this is the one that I want to call. So you got to ask yourself, am I in a niche where people just want to pick up the phone and call? Like plumber, dude. I don't care how nice your website is if you're a plumber. If my thing is leaking, or if, ooh, here's a great one. This actually happened to me years ago. I got locked out of the office, and this is when we were renting in a building. So there was it wasn't like WeWork. I needed to call a locksmith to come in and open the door. Right? Emergency locksmith. I don't care about your website. Who's someone that's gonna pick up the phone and come help me right now? But if I'm looking for my next dentist, I'm probably for for my family, right? I'm probably going to be thinking about, do I like this dentist? Let me check out their website. Let me maybe read how many reviews they have on Google, so on and so forth. Cool. Sorry, Brandon, keep going.
No, you're fine. It's good to have different perspectives. To add what Joel was saying, you can even break it into the 4 quadrants where it's like 18 to 30, 30 to 45, 45 to 60, and 65 plus. Maybe just run call ads for the 65 and 50 plus people, right? Because they're more likely to call than someone younger who's going to browse the web. There's all kinds of different strategies you can do. So, test things out the way that you think what Joel is saying. Look at your niche and diagnose what the best case scenario for the most people in that niche is going to be. And
Yeah,
go
like
with that.
plumbing for sure. You just want to call. You just want to call, but like a med spa, I'd probably actually suggest website. And I
Yeah.
don't know if and you can also test them. You can also
Okay.
test them out.
So campaign type, guys, like there's been a lot of talk about performance max. It works for e-com. It does not work for lead gen. Display is basically your retargeting ads. You guys know what shopping and video ads are.
Do not do any of that shit.
Yeah.
You're
Get
gonna
rid of
lose a
all.
lot of money.
Just go to search. It's
Yeah.
the best one, especially for you guys that are starting out. Videos, obviously YouTube ads, but we're gonna go search on this one.
Do not click anything else, guys. You will burn money.
This is the first important selection. If you are in a niche that you want to run call only ads, you must select phone call, or you will not have the option to build a call only ad at the campaign level. Okay. If you do not put your phone number in here, it's not going to give you the option. But in this case, we're using MedSpa, so we're just going to put medspa.com in here. And then always name it, non-branded, then we'll do med spa. And then I'll do something like, if I have an age range or something. So for this one,
Let's just
I
keep
don't
it
think
like
anyone-
simple. Let's just do a 10-mile radius campaign.
yeah, 25 to 65 plus. I don't know what the average age of a med spa person is. And
Maybe
then
a
just
little younger, honestly. Maybe like 21.
10-mile radius, something like that, right?
Maybe
and then
21.
I always put P1 or something. So that's normally campaign name structure. Non-branded med spas, 21 to 65, 10-mile radius, P1, right? And if it
What's
has a
P1?
location, that's just phase one. Like I just boom, boom, boom. There's like 3 phases, but
Dude, you name them way nicer than mine. I would have just put in med spa.
guys, and for you guys that are running all your clients out of one ad account, which is a beautiful thing to do inside of Google Ads, because you can maximize the same pixel, you would just put location right here, non-branded, same thing. So just location, whatever. So continue. All right. So second one, I always start with clicks, and I don't set a maximum cost per click bid, because if I come back to my keyword planner, I know that the click's going to cost me somewhere between $1 and $3. And I don't want to give it any limitations. I want to see if I can hit KPIs with as much volume as possible. And I don't want Google to pick the traffic it's going to give me. I want to be eligible for all traffic. So I always start with clicks. Always get rid of search partners and display network, because it's a waste of money.
This is really important.
Yes, this
Guys,
right here, you
do
will
not
burn
skip that
money.
step. Again, remember I said this is where Google is about not losing money first, more than just making money.
Yep.
Make sure those are unchecked, or else your ads are going to get shown all over the internet, and it's not going to drive any legit traffic.
Yeah, terrible. These absolute no-nos. All right. Right here, this is another important step. This is like what the Facebook thing, people regularly in or who have shown interest in, you don't want this one. And this is the default option. You want to select people in or regularly in your targeted locations. And then for this,
We're going to put enter.
let's just put.
I would do advanced search.
I mean, I was just going to pick
up. Let's say Dallas, and then put a 10-mile radius or whatever radius you want, right? And by the way, you guys could do zip codes at this point. You could do radius targeting. Again, guys, I personally, for the wedding venue, had 2 campaigns. I had a radius campaign, which was like 25 miles around Philadelphia. And then I had a national campaign. However, this is extremely important. For the national campaign, it was only for people specifically searching for a Philadelphia wedding venue. So that if you're a mom in California and your daughter lives in Philadelphia and you're helping her out with wedding venue research, if you look up Philadelphia wedding venue, I still show up. But for most of you guys, you don't have to worry about the national campaign. I broke this down in the other video. Most of you guys, it's just the near me campaign. It's just that small radius. But again, also side note, you could have 2 campaigns. You could have like a 5-mile radius campaign for the near me keywords, and you could have like a 15-mile radius campaign and just remove any of the near me options, so that if someone's 50 miles out and they look up near me, you don't show up. But if someone's 5 miles out, they look up near me, you do show up. So I know that's a little wordy. To keep it simple for you guys, I'd probably just pick a certain radius, just to keep it really simple. Pick a certain radius, anywhere between 3 to 10 miles. And that's it. Just have one campaign, just to start, just to keep it simple. Cool.
Yep. And if you guys are going to run Spanish ads, this is where you do it in the language. You just make your ads Spanish. Leave all this stuff off, guys.
If you put Spanish, does it translate your ads, Brendan?
No.
It just gets shown to people that have Spanish settings.
Yeah, and guys, make sure you have your ads checked by someone who speaks Spanish because the translator is not the best. Just FYI.
No, so if you put Spanish, it's just going to be shown to people that have the Spanish setting for Google on their phone. It's not in Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you got to write it in Spanish. Leave audience segments off. That's mainly for YouTube. You don't want to be forced to use broad match keywords, so leave that off. And you want to provide the assets for the ads. Do not let Google create them for you, basically. You want to leave all these off. More settings. I always start with best performing ads because I don't make 7 or 8 ads. And the rest of this, if you need an ad schedule, like you can set it here. But I always change this after the fact. I don't actually build this whenever I'm building a campaign. It's just easier on the other screen. So you can just basically not touch any of this stuff and you'll be fine.
Basil said, damn, I like how you're really emphasizing that messing up is going to get you in more trouble than doing it right. Also, a quick warning, as soon as you do it right or do it the way we taught you, Google's going to call you and tell you you're doing it wrong. Ignore them.
That's true. It's going to
They're
give
going
you
to
like,
keep telling you. I'm like, you guys are
look,
clueless. They're going to keep trying to sell you.
right here, it's telling us
if you get a call from Google telling you you're doing it wrong, ignore them.
right here, it's telling us we only have a 73% campaign optimization score. That is exactly where you want to be at. In my experience, you do not want to be over 70%. Like 80. If you're at 80%, you're probably wasting some clicks somewhere. But they're going to tell you that you need to go to 100% by adding all these things in your campaign options. And that's just, they're not Google ad specialists. They're salespeople to get you to spend more money on ads. All right. So first keyword is going to be med spas. And I always do phrase match, exact match variants. And then, so it already gives me a lot of stuff here, but I want to get rid of anything that doesn't have med or medical spa here. And then I'm going to put squiggly bracket or quotations around these to make it phrase match. Again, if you haven't watched the first one, you can go watch the first one. Joel covers this. And then,
so again, all keywords needs to be either in quotations or in brackets. No open keywords. You're gonna waste a lot of money. I'll just explain it very quickly again. If it's in the quotations, it means that those 2 words can be in as long, like if someone searches for med spa, best med spa Miami, and you're bidding for med spa in quotations, you'll show up because it just includes those words. If it's the brackets, it means people have to search that exact thing. I would keep a very simple one.
yeah.
Brent, I would do like lip filler near me.
So yeah, I was about to go over that. Guys, I never put more than 15 keywords in a campaign ad set. Because what Joel was just explaining, if anyone searches med spas, services, med spas near me, med spas Philadelphia, med spas anything, it's going to pop your ad up because of this phrase match keyword set. So you literally have hundreds of variations in this one keyword type with a phrase match around it. Again, watch the first one if you need more coverage and knowledge on that. But these few keywords will match anything basically that you need in a local service area. And I like to do the exact match and phrase match of the keyword. And that's really it. So this is really all.
Now, if someone searches med spa Dallas, you'll show up. If someone searches med spa near me, Dallas, you'll still show up. Here's the tricky part. If someone looks up worst med spa, you'll show up. So eventually we'll have to add that in as a negative keyword. So if someone ever looks up worst, you don't show up. But for now, you're essentially telling Google, if someone searches these things in a 10-mile radius for those ages that we set up, you're going to show up. By the way, Brandon, the only thing that I might consider for med spa, I didn't even realize, I might consider just targeting female.
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
I don't know if it makes a difference. Maybe it's because again, if someone's searching for it, they're searching for it, even if you're a guy. So maybe not. But that's the
And
only thing that.
that's actually important because you can't actually do that in your campaign build. You got to go to the demographic settings after it's built and published to change that.
Yeah, I would say that's just a little shiny object syndrome. Maybe not. Doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I would say you're right. I'd say it's probably 80% female, 20% male. So
It might be interesting to test, but I don't actually think it'll make a big difference.
all right. And guys, if you have any questions around broad match, phrase match, or exact match, you can click the little learn more button here and it'll explain it to you. They got a huge article on it.
Or you can watch part 1 of this training.
You can watch part 1 of the training. That's true too. All right, so here, this is the med spa one. So I would just put the location, like Dallas, or the name of the business if it would fit there. If it was Cairo or Cryo, I put Cryo, you know, or Botox or what lip filler or whatever it is I'm selling is the extension. We agreed not to do phone numbers. You don't need lead forms. You don't need none of that stuff in this one. All right. And it's gonna give you some suggestions here, like 800 plus top rated providers. I like this if it said reviews, right? Like 800 plus top rated reviews. I feel like that's a good headline there. You don't use med spa near me, use med spa near you, or you can use near me. It's up to you. I like near you because what they're searching for. The top one, I always change to my dynamic keyword insertion. And then I would put, is med spa 2 words or 1 word? What's the right way to do it? Med spa. For this one, you always do title case. And then I would do location. So city, and in this, I would put Dallas. And that's always my first one that I do, because it's basically any kind of search term that they're searching around med spa. It's going to pop up and it's going to put whatever city they're searching from right there. So that's the easiest one to match. I always like med spa near you, 800 plus top rated reviews. Number, you can do most trusted. You can do med spa near me. You can do what Joel said, #1 med spa in Dallas. What other ones here? I would actually put some of the services that are offered that are, what is it? Lip fillers, cryo. Like for someone that was asking about the offers, like I might put like $30 off Cairo if they have that special cryo therapy. Today you might put something about lip filler service. Is it called lip filler service or is it like
Just lip fillers?
Is it treatment? Lip filler treatment?
Sure. Here, can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah.
Is it not loading the ad?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and you like the $30 off?
I'm just giving examples of what you can put there.
Yeah. Again, I'm probably gonna.
But you can do, yeah, you can do.
Here's, and again, my 800 plus top rated reviews. Is that the headline too?
It's one of them.
And this is for the med spa ad group, not the cryotherapy ad group, right?
Right. But again, people that are searching for med spa know that there's chiro. Like in my mind, there's cryotherapy, lip filler, Botox. Like, so you
I
can
would
put
just make that as part of the keyword personally. And again, this is good that you have both me and Brandon, so you could see 2 different perspectives. I don't see it as a bad thing. I personally would just do best med spa, #1 med spa, top rated med spa, That's I would keep it. If someone's looking for med spa, that's what I would put. I probably wouldn't put the offer. I wouldn't put the services in the headline. I would just put #1 med spa, best med spa, top rated med spa.
You could do.
Hopefully that helps. Yeah, I'd probably do top rated. I would do most trusted med spa like that. I wouldn't even put near me, Brandon. That's personally. So if I had to and I would get rid of the services. I would do one with the keywords though. So
I mean, the keywords are already there.
oh no, I meant the brackets. You already set it up. It was the first one you did. Personally, again, I would put I would even take out the med spa near like the near me. I would just put best, top rated, 5-star med spa, things like that. That's what I would do. But Brandon, you can disagree with me too.
No,
I like that we have different ways to do it.
Yeah, I mean, my thought process is med spa. If you want to better add strength and add ranking, you want to put things that are similar. Like if you think about like from an SEO perspective, like cryo gives a direct correlation with med spa. So
It's not Cairo.
it's cryo.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
But yeah, so I like to put it in there. This is kind of subjective. Obviously, the better you can get it in Google's eyes, it's better. So when we did add, what is it? Cryo therapy treatment. Oh, that wasn't it. Was it lip filler? There it goes. Treatment. Oh. I don't have room for available. It went back down anyway, so it's fine. But yeah,
I like to so here's how I like to do it, guys. I like to match the ad based on the ad set. So if in that ad set we're looking just for med spa near me, med spa Dallas, whatever. I want to have the ad be about that. For the ad set around lip fillers, which is coming next, then we'll have all the lip filler headlines, Because you separated them out, right, Brandon? We're just doing med. Okay,
we're just doing the first one.
Sweet. In the description, this is where I would put all the services. Or 800 plus top rated reviews. I love that. 800 plus top rated reviews. I'd put Botox fillers, facials, perfect exclusive deals available. That's great.
Botox fillers, cryo therapy.
And I would literally list out like their top surged services.
Aerotherapy. What am I missing?
Cool sculpting, lip
Lip
fillers.
fillers, sculpting. I think it's body sculpting. Sculpt. Yeah, and then I don't know if I got enough room.
Maybe take out body sculpting.
But and then normally what I always do is put like call today if it's a call ad or something, or in this case I would put book today, or if I have enough room, book an appointment today. Have enough room. Probably leave it like that, book an appointment now. I don't know. But something like that. And then hand-picked vetted network of medical spas that you can trust. That's not really.
Are these, Brandon, I forget, are these showing up as separate descriptions, or do they want 3 different variations?
So they'll stack. So you'll get 2 of them stacked.
So you want 2 different ones?
Yeah, you want 2 different ones.
Got it.
I don't ever put multiple. I only put 2 so that it makes sense. No matter which way it reads. But yeah, here, schedule Botox fillers, facials, laser hair treatments, exclusive deals available. That one's good. And you come up here and you read it.
I mean, like, what do the people want in a med spa? Maybe like expert team of doctors and nurses, featured in I don't know. Let's say they've been featured in. I don't even know the website, the magazines, but let's say just put NBC, ABC, and something else. Like I just want to put a lot of like the features that people would be like, "Oh, cool."
So you always put everything as title case. And then this is where Joel's saying you can add a bunch of images, your business name. I like adding this one quite a bit. So you can put business name. Let's just say Med Spa Dallas. And then it'll put it at the top there. So it looks a little bit cleaner, right? So you apply. Then you put your logo. I like the logo in there because it'll pop the logo up next to the ad. You can put some images in there. Again, I don't like site links. You guys can add them if you have a really good website that your clients have. And then the last thing is just your UTM tracking codes so you can track back results inside of Go HighLevel, and where they're coming from. And that's how you build an ad. Now we'll do the other two ad
Wait,
sets.
real quick. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up. This looks good. Probably take out the med spa near you. Actually, no, I like that. Med spa near you. I like that. Because people look up near me and then they're like, hey, there's one near you. I like that. Looks great. Sweet. That one's solid.
So then we go. So now it'll have you publish the campaign. I'm just going to put $5 here a day. It's going to say you're going to get 36 weekly clicks at an average of 97 cents, but can't really trust that. But you can see over here, we have 77% campaign rating, which in Google's eyes is not sufficient. So they're going to start calling you.
Exactly. Hey, Brandon, how do you like to ensure that your ads rank #1?
It's all on your click-through rate and your daily spend, like what I showed you, that you're not losing any of your search to rank or to budget. And then if you're still not getting like a high top impression share, you
Switch to
need
manual bidding.
manual bidding and bid more than everyone else.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're on the same page. So guys, if let me actually break this down. This is really important. I only want to show up #1 or top 3 really, but ideally #1. And here's why. Most people don't click on anything past that initial scroll when they go on Google. It's those first 1, 2, and 3 options. And ideally, it's the first 1 or 2. So given that, might not let you publish it. Given that, if with the automated bidding, where you're letting Google just maximize clicks, if you're not showing up high, what you need to do is switch to manual bidding and increase the bid per keyword up until you're showing up #1. So if you're now paying $3 a click, let's say, just as an example, and you're not showing up #1, you're going to want to switch to manual bidding and maybe increase it to $4. Then let's say you're still not showing up. You want to increase it to $5, then $6. Then let's say $7. And at $7, you're showing up #1. That's where you're going to keep it. This is really important. At least what I found for us, that's what worked best. People want to call the first few options. So again, I'm going to say that one more time. If you aren't showing up #1, switch to manual bidding and increase the bid of per keyword. You can switch them all at the same time or do one keyword at a time. And I would just raise it little by little. Maybe like 20%. So raise it by 20% at a time up until the point where you're ranking number one. Cool.
Doesn't look like it's gonna let me publish.
Let's go to the ad set for lip filler or for whatever the cryotherapy. And then after that, or actually, no, we should keep that for part two. Welcome to day 3 of the 3-day Google Ads course. Hopefully you guys enjoyed day 2. And finally, for day 3, we're going to break down how to track everything. We're also going to explain how to optimize all of your campaigns. Finally, we're going to reveal our proven landing pages that have generated hundreds, if not thousands, of conversions for ourselves and our clients. So with that in mind, let's dive in.
All right, so I'm back in the keyword planner, and I've just created another.
It's like super zoomed in. You might want to zoom out a little bit. More. Zoom out more. It's better.
It's just regular. So I've created another ad set in the campaign that we were building.
It's still huge. Is it huge for you guys?
It's just 100%. Like this ain't blown up at all.
Okay.
And then I was doing it because this is a little bit small. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, no. Never mind. All right. So we're going to start here with lip filler. Now, I don't like lip filler as.
I thought we were doing cryo skin, right?
No, we were doing lip filler.
Can we do cryo skin? Can we just search for that? I think that's what I promised people. So.
All right, cool. That works. So we'll do cryo skin. So I'm in my keyword planner. I actually don't like this search term, cryo skin, because it's like too broad. You can use it, but you're gonna get like a lot of stuff that comes through on your phrase match that's gonna not be like what you're looking for. It's gonna be people looking for like information.
Yes. Whereas like cryo skin near me is a really good keyword. I also like cryo skin med spa. I think people looking for a cryo skin med spa, that would work.
Slimming, like this is a good one. Cryofacial, that's a service. That's probably a little broad, but you can try it. Right here, treatment, another good keyword. Just think about like someone's buyer journey. I call them money keywords. Like when someone is like solution and problem aware, that's when they're looking for exactly what they need, which is some type of treatment or service. Anything top level can be someone that is looking for both treatment or information. Like maybe they're interested in it and how it works, but you don't want to waste clicks on that. So
I would keep it pretty simple. I like cryoskin treatment, cryoskin med spa, cryoskin near me.
you don't want to do anything about price. I don't like that.
So I would put that in the negative keywords: price, cost, for sale.
Yeah. So we'll do like this one.
Yeah, let's do cryo skin near me. Let's do cryo skin treatment. So cryo skin near me, cryo skin treatment, cryo skin med spa, and then cryo skin city name.
I think we're in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Because facial will fall in near me too.
We could put cryo skin facial, yeah, if you want.
It's gonna fall in this one anyway. But yeah, we can put it in there. I think it was facial. And then I also like to put the exact match in there. If you're doing huge build outs, There's a super fast way to do this in the spreadsheet where you can swap out the brackets. But for now, that's what we'll do. All right, that's what, 10 keywords? Yeah, that's perfect. Change this. All right. And then
And it's going to be pretty much the same process as the last one. Just put a random freaking URL. Doesn't really matter for now, obviously. It's just an example.
there.
Oh, we forgot cryotherapy as a keyword.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Cryo skin. By the way, it's CRYO on that one.
Oh,
You keep
Cryo.
wanting to call it Cairo.
I know. I don't know why.
You've been looking at too many Cairo ads lately. It's in your subconscious brain.
I got too many.
Yeah. Boom. Boom. You got to fix it on the URL too. CRYO. Call it Cairo. Yep. All right, we're good there.
There we go. All right, so we're gonna skip the phone and the lead forms because we don't do that right now.
Again, for the headline, I like number one cryo skin, Dallas, Texas.
Hold on.
Top cryo skin, Dallas, Texas. Best. That's 5-star. Like that. Those are the headlines that I like.
Cryo skin. What was it? Top Cairo skin treatment. Dallas. Title case. I feel like that's too long.
Maybe med spa. Top cryo skin med spa. Or just cryo skin. You don't even need med spa.
Spot. Yeah, we'll just do that because then I'll put a city thing right here. And do Dallas. All right. Perfect. I think this is supposed to be lowercase. There we go. All right. Then you can do what?
Number one, cryo skin. Not cryo, yeah.
Med spa. Ah, I spelled it wrong. I actually like to do this too.
Yeah, that's fine. Boom.
In most big city, there's a lot of like sub cities. So I like the location dynamic because it'll match where they're at if they're in like a sub city like Addison or Garland or something like that inside of Dallas. Right here, I always use this one. Cryoscan therapy.
Near you.
You. And then you can just match some of the stuff here like cryoscan, facial therapy, and you can put like number one, put top rated
5-star. Yeah, whatever. It's all the same shit. You guys get the point.
cryoscan.
Best, number one, top rated, 5-star.
Yeah, exactly. You just put all that stuff.
Those are good.
Description.
It's kind of the same as last time.
Yeah, I don't remember the last one. I don't remember what we put. I know we did all the benefits.
Just here. I'll just do one right off the top. 5 stars on Google. Let's say they've been featured on Women's Journal. Put featured on whatever Women's Journal.
Next one.
Put period. I'm just making like this obviously has to be true for them. I'm just like you can't just like put 5 stars on Google and featured on Women's Journal if they aren't actually featured on Women's Journal and if they don't actually have 5 stars on Google. So let's say they have 4.7, then you're going to put 4.7 stars on Google. Then wait, put we offer cryo skin, Botox, so comma Botox,
No, we're out of
comma.
space.
Oh, okay, just put that below.
Yeah, and then
Here, put the we offer part just below. And take that out, yeah. We offer cryoskin, Botox, and full sculpting.
full like that. Sculpting. I think it's full body sculpting, ain't it?
I have no idea. Just for the example, either one.
And then pause today. Perfect.
Boom.
There.
So look, someone's gonna look up cryoskin med spa. Why does it say Independence?
Where I don't see Independence.
Oh no, it's gone. Maybe it was just a city.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like that, and it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You could also just get rid of all of the freaking headlines and just put #1 cryoskin.
Oh,
I have not forgot about you. Period.
Translating in Spanish because where I'm at.
I'm handling a
because you're in Colombia.
Yeah.
few
Uh-oh.
meetings. Period.
Yo, Marcus, can you mute whoever else?
There we go. All right. So then you would hit next and you would, or you could hit done, either one. There's your ad. Here's your keywords. And this is your ad set name. So again, you would hit next. You would set your budget. And then you would publish the campaign.
Boom. Easy peasy. All right, we knocked out
Is it-
cryoskin.
Yeah, is there any questions around the campaign build out, the segmentation of keywords and services? Like, is there anything on that before we move on to tracking and landing pages? No one has a question? Everyone good?
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
All right, cool. All right.
I would not worry about ChatGPT and to create similar keywords, Paul. I would just keep it as simple as possible. Like it actually should be simple, not complicated. So for example, when I was running my family's wedding venue Google Ads, the only keyword we were really bidding on was wedding venue near me and Philadelphia wedding venue. And then we made it phrase match, so it added anything before or after. That's pretty much it. Like those, whenever anyone would search up wedding venue near me and Philadelphia wedding venue, and then even if they added best Philadelphia wedding venues or top Philadelphia wedding venues, we would show up. So I'd keep it really simple. Like what's the 80-20 of things people are searching for that get you the desired outcome?
Yeah,
Yep.
I see what you're saying. All the others fall in line as a subset.
Right. So if you're, I don't know if you were, I did week 1 a while ago, but essentially on part 1, we talked about phrase match keywords. So when you put the quotations, it allows for any word before or after to show up. So if you put in quotation med spa near me, if someone searches top rated med spas near me, you will still show up. So that's how I would ask myself, what's the 80-20, like what are the 5 keywords that people search for around the actual company and then the services. So for example, with plumbing, it would be the company is a plumbing company, and then the services would be like sink damage. So then you have a campaign for the actual company thing, med spa, gym, plumber, and then you have a
Right.
campaign for the actual services. And then you take the top 5 to 10 keywords and you make them phrase match so anyone can search for anything around those keywords. Instead of having these crazy lists, I would not do that. I would keep it really simple. All right, Brandon, can we actually go back and do negative keywords and search terms first before landing pages?
Yeah.
This is really important, guys. We talked last week about how the success of the Google ad campaign, a lot of it depends on just not wasting money. It is very easy to spend money on the wrong things. That's what kills most of the campaign's profitability. That will determine whether the campaign works or doesn't. So let's build out negative keyword list, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm just verifying my Google so I can get to a campaign. Okay, so this one has a lot of spend on it. Let's use this one. All right, so your search terms, like Joel is saying, is like your most important indicator.
Let's go to negative keywords first, and then I'll break down the search terms if you don't mind.
Okay.
I have a method to the madness.
Okay.
Okay, so essentially, guys, negative keyword is, and we talked about this on week 1, but just to recap, it's telling Google, hey, when someone searches these things, I never want to show up. So if someone searches cheap, let's say that, I mean, if you have a service that's cheap, that's fine. But let's say that your client doesn't want to show up for cheap plumber, then you would put the word cheap in the negative keyword, and you're telling Google, hey, if someone searches cheap with plumber, do not bid on that. Do not show my ad. So, for example, my family's wedding venue is all inclusive. They offer the food, the planning, the venue, the alcohol, everything. So it wasn't cheap. So whenever someone put cheap Philadelphia wedding venue, we would not show up. Affordable Philadelphia wedding venue, we would not show up. It was also a big wedding venue. So when someone looked up small Philadelphia wedding venue, we would not show up. So the negative keyword list is you telling Google, hey, it's like the opposite. Instead of telling it, you want to have a list of things you do show up for and a list of things you don't show up for. So, for example, let's add in, and you could just do it on this campaign. It doesn't matter because you couldn't publish it, but let's add in the keyword for sale. Remember for because people might be looking up cryo skin machine for sale. I would say also machine. No, most people looking for a machine aren't going to go and get the service. It might be just someone looking to buy a cryoskin machine. I would maybe also add in, what were the other ones? Machine for sale. It was.
Those were the two biggest ones. There's price.
Yeah, maybe price. Again, someone's researching it. Maybe like at home.
Yeah,
at home, DIY.
That's our, yeah, it's in here, but yeah.
DIY.
And then you gotta spell it too.
Yeah, do it yourself. Like, again, what are things that if someone looks up cryo skin for machine, we're not now going to show up. If someone searches for cryo skin at home or cryo skin do it yourself, or maybe tutorial, if someone looks up cryoskin tutorial, you're not going to show up. So look up tutorial or add tutorial, Brandon. All right, I like that one. Someone added repair.
Yeah, repair. That's good. Guys, there's 2 ways to do this. If you're going to be running Google Ads fulfillment, you should have, you see right here where it says use negative keyword list. You should have a generic list for all clients, and then you should have a generic list of stuff that's industry specific. So like generic lists that you would build, because you can move them between accounts without having to type them all in, would be like do it yourself. I always put like XXX in there, like any type of research or information keywords goes in a generic list. And then it's just really easy to optimize that list out for when you're doing a niche agency like this, so that you can literally just plug in your keyword list, build out your campaigns, and launch within like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, and what's really nice is after you do this for one client and you kind of have it dialed in, you don't need to do it again.
So you can see I have a list here that has just like industry specific. And then I have mainly here is just competition in the area that I don't want to bid on. And that's how it works.
So let's say, let's say that your client doesn't want to show up for cheap cryoskin or affordable cryoskin. So let's add those two, cheap, or not even just, you don't have to put cryoskin, you just put cheap. And then, yeah, and then affordable. I think that's pretty much it. So,
and then we're gonna show you where to get all these at. This is just like what you can think of off the top of your head.
yes. So with that in mind, let's head over to the search terms. So you're gonna implement these keywords. Don't forget the step. It's really important. Ask yourself, what are all the things I don't want to show up for?
Yeah, and it gives you a couple options. You can use your negative keyword list. You can do them at the ad set or the campaign level, and you can save or add to an existing list that you already have. So there's a couple options you can do here when you're saving your negative keywords. I'm not going to save these, but I think you guys get the point. But what we are going to do is we're going to hop into where you really need to be looking, which is the search terms. So there's two ways to get to it. You can come over here and click search terms. I like to go by keyword that's getting the most traffic. So 4,600 impressions, 159 clicks, and then click the search terms here.
So guys, just to explain it, search terms are the results. So again, we said to Google, hey, I want you to bid for these keywords. When someone searches for these, I want to show up. Search terms is like the results of what actually happened. What did people actually search for? And my recommendation, guys, is to check this once every few days to start. And then over time, once a week. And then after that, you could do it like once a month, because what's going to happen is over time, you're going to see all the results from the campaign here, and you'll be able to keep adding to your negative keyword list. So you're like, shit, I didn't want to show up for emergency plumber. Okay, let me add in the word emergency. Let's say you didn't want to. Or let's say you didn't want to show up for all hours plumbing. You add in that to your negative keyword list. So this is, the search terms are your actual results of your campaign. What did people actually search for? This is going to give you the best data. So yeah, these are all the actual results.
Yeah, this is what people actually search for when your ad pops up in the auction. So you can see there's some stuff in here that was coming through that still needs to be optimized down. So if we go down, you can see that we added affordable plumbing right here. It's $43 a click. We got no conversions. Definitely want to make sure we're not bidding on the term affordable, right? If you look in here, there's some more competition coming through. So there's DeLong, there's FAR, there's Reeds. We want to get rid of all of them as they come in. The competition keywords takes the longest. Even if you go through Google Maps and put all of them in there, they're still going to come through.
Because look, guys, if the keyword was plumbing Springfield that you bet on, which you did, or that you bid on, if someone looks up a competitor and still has plumbing Springfield, you're still going to show up. But now, because of the results, you can be like, oh shit, I don't want to be bidding for that. Let me add that to the negative keyword list. And this is how you get really good at Google Ads. Because over time, and this is why campaigns actually get better over time.
Yep.
Because as you get more and more results, you'll be able to then make a more optimized keyword list and negative keyword list so that you're spending less money on the wrong things and more money on the right things.
Yep. And another way that I use this is, guys, there's only so much search volume in any given city, regardless, right? That's what we were talking about last class. You can't just bump budget and get more leads. It doesn't work like that. So what you do is you go to the things that are getting the most impressions, right? So, and then you see if you're getting a good amount of clicks. And if not, you need to optimize your ads better around these certain keywords to get a higher click-through rate. So if I'm looking, I'm like, how do I get more leads? And I come here, I got 88 impressions, 0 clicks around plumbers in Springfield, Missouri, which is an exact keyword that I want to bid on. So I might go make an ad variation with a lot of keywords or phrasing around this right here to try to get clicks coming in on this search term. So there's multiple ways you can use this. You want to, the things that are getting the most searches is the things that you really want to optimize on your ads to see if it makes sense, obviously, to optimize how much lead flow that you're going to get. So first step is clicks. You want to get rid of everything you're spending money on that you don't want to bid on. You can even come down here and do some preventative maintenance of things that's popping up that hasn't cost you money yet. And the second thing is impressions to make sure you're getting the clicks that you want to get through on things that's getting the most volume. And that's really how you use the search terms.
So yeah, to recap, search terms are your actual results from the campaigns. This is why at the beginning, Google Ads, you need to feed it a lot of data and you'll get better over time.
Quick side note, this is not going to track 100% of your conversions. It's going to give you like 40-50% at best. So that's why it takes a while to get a lot of data in here. I spent like $17,000 on this campaign. It's only given me 57 conversions in my search terms. So that's why it gets better over time.
Let's talk about, I don't know if you could actually do this in HighLevel. Can you create a phone number and track how many calls?
Yeah.
Like track how many calls got to that number?
Yeah, so I like to use CallRail because it's easier.
It's easier, yeah. That's what I asked. So I'm pretty sure you could do it on HighLevel, but if not, can you pull up callrail.com? What I would do, guys, as well, because you want to have the phone number, not just like a lander with a. You want to have a phone number, not just a lander with a form. You can actually use call tracking through CallRail, or you can also do it on HighLevel, and you'll be able to create a phone number specifically for your clients. So you could prove, hey, look, I got you this many calls. So that even if someone doesn't fill out the form on the lander, if they call, you could be like, no, we got you a call. You could even listen to it. So.
And you can even get as far as phone number per keyword or ad set, so you can track it even further. There's all kinds of things you can do with CallRail, like including, different avenues of traffic. You got Facebook ads, Google ads. You can set up that in here.
Yeah. So
but
that's
yes,
pretty much it on calling. Do you want to go over to the other tracking?
Yeah, how to set up I was going to do tracking with the landing page.
Okay, yeah, you can take the lead from here.
Yeah. All right. So before I move on to landing pages and tracking, is there any questions about what we just covered? Okay.
Search terms, negative
No.
keywords. No, okay.
Yeah.
Full disclaimer before I move on to this part. There is multiple ways to set up tracking inside of Google Ads. There is Tag Manager. There is Google Analytics accounts. And then there is standard conversion tracking. I'm going to show you how to set up standard conversion tracking. For those of you who are more technical, you can do the other two, set up goals and all of that stuff. That's not needed for what I'm going to show you guys how to do. Also, the landing pages that I show you and the niche that I'm going to show you work in all niches. I will tell you the niche that I'm going to show you does not work with Facebook ads. So if you try to go into it to acquire clients, it's going to be very rough because it does have a 40% conversion rate. So I just want a quick disclaimer. Don't get shiny object syndrome and try to go into the niche is all I'm telling you. All right. So first go into tools and settings, conversions. It's going to bring you to this screen right here. You're always going to have two different types of conversions. You're going to have your lead form or website submits, and you're going to have phone calls. If some of you guys run Google LSA ads or Google Map placements, you're going to have a second one here for directions if it's a local business. But for now, you can see I mainly just focus on conversions from calls. And
Which we talked about last week, when to do calls versus when to do landers.
Yeah.
Again, if you're a plumber, probably a call. If you're a med spa, you probably want a website that also has a phone number if they want to call. So it just
Correct.
depends again on your niche and how they normally do business.
And if Google can't track through, it will tell you in red letters right here that it's messed up and it will give you the troubleshoot button. This is just tag inactive, but if it doesn't work, it'll walk you through how to fix it. So it'll tell you that it's not working. So the first thing you're going to do is new conversion action. If you're doing phone calls, you're going to do phone calls. If you're doing websites, you're going to do websites. So, but we'll do websites. You'll just put in a domain. Cryoskin.com. All right, turn off or actually leave that on. So right here, you're going to add your conversion action manually. And I'll probably show you guys how to do this on Go HighLevel, because that's probably what most of you guys are going to use for landing page hosting. But right here, you're going to select your optimization goal. So we're going to do submit lead form. I always like to put like who on my team set up the conversion or myself. And then if it's like a lead form or, and then I like to put like what landing page it is. Like if you have a ton of Google things or like what keyword it's based around or something. So like I'm going to do like cryoskin example. And then right here, you're going to use the same value for each conversion on lead forms. The only reason you would use different values is if you're doing e-commerce. So let's say that a lead's worth $10. This really doesn't matter too much for lead gen. It gives you every as a recommended for lead forms, but you want to use one. So you want one-to-one conversion tracking when someone submits your lead form. This again, every is mainly for e-commerce. You can play with these. I like to use a 30-day conversion window. You can do less if you want, but I leave these recommended as the same as what they recommend. So you don't have to make any changes here. Let me let them in the house.
While Brandon's doing that, I just answered Shaheen in the chat. Shaheen asked, what's the minimum budget for a campaign with 3 ads? Guys, it just depends on the niche. What I would do is look at the keyword planner. And if the keywords you're bidding on are like $5 per click, then just do the math on that. If the keywords you're bidding on are $100 per click, then do the math on that, right? Like, again, for personal injury attorneys, I think $5,000 to $10,000 a month minimum budget. But if we're talking about a med spa for these keywords that aren't that competitive, you know, you could do $50 a day. 1,500 a month.
Yeah, so a good rule of thumb on math is just count 6% conversion rate times whatever your average cost per click is, and then times how many leads that you're promising.
I love it. That's a good formula.
And that's pretty safe because you should realistically get a 10% conversion rate out of Google Ads pretty easy. But all right, so we'll keep moving. All right, right here, once you set your conversion goal, you're gonna come into the settings. Actually, we changed it. You're gonna agree and continue. And right here, you're gonna see the event snippet. Where's it at? So you're gonna copy this. We'll go into Go High Level. I'll just find a lead magnet here. Oh, should have had this pulled up. Let's see if I can find one.
You can just take a second if you want.
No, it's fine. Okay. So you have your opt-in page. Whatever the conversion is, like say they submit, say they're gonna go opt-in to here, which is like the checkout, so they opted in. You can put the conversion event for the lead form submitted right here on this page. Or if it was a purchase event or schedule, you would put it on the thank you page, right? So the way that you do it is you come into your page. And then you go right here and you paste the event snippet code. And then you save it. Right? And that's gonna, just like a Facebook pixel, that's gonna put the event code pixel to fire back to Google when someone goes through your funnel or your landing page and hits the thank you page. Then it's gonna fire back to Google as a conversion. All right, so you go ahead and you hit done. And then if you see how it says inactive, you can troubleshoot. It's always going to say this for like 24 hours, unless you just go ahead and click troubleshoot and walk through it. And if you ever need to like fix something in it or go tag setup, you can come down here, get the tag. You don't need to download it. You just need to copy it. Come back into your funnel. It's always so slow. And then the same place that you would put your Facebook pixel, you would put your Google pixel in there. And then you would save it. So now you have your main pixel all through your funnel, and you have your event pixel on the thank you page, which is right here. So main pixel, event pixel. All right. I know that was a little bit confusing. Any questions before we hop into the landing page?
Did you put event snippet in the heading for the individual page, and then the one you just posted up top, you put that in the overall heading for the whole funnel? Is that correct?
Correct. You only put your event snippet inside the code on the page that you want it to fire for. So main pixel goes on all landing pages, which if you do it in the settings, it'll do it on any landing page provider that you have. And then event snippet only on the page that you want the conversion to fire for when someone submits the form of purchase event. All right. Cool.
The only thing left is optimization, and well, we pretty much talked about optimization.
Yeah, optimization is search terms.
Yeah, and again, I would just look at the results at the beginning every like 72 hours, and then over time once a week, and then after that, like once it's pretty dialed in and you're only bidding on the things you want to be bidding on, just like once a month. And then the only thing that you want to tweak after that is if you're showing up again, I like to show up in the first page, top 1 or 2 spots, ideally number 1. And if you're just not showing up number 1, then switch to manual bidding for the keywords that you're not showing up to number 1 and increase it so that you are. That's the only optimization really. The search terms and then double checking to make sure you're showing up number 1. And if not, switching to manual bidding, raising the budget by 20% at a time until you're number 1. So,
Christian, I'll answer your question in just a second when we hop into the landing pages.
sweet. So then I think the last piece is landing pages.
Guys, so yes, what Christian said, I saw you use Unbounce. What other builders would you recommend? Guys, for saving money on software cost, you want to use Go HighLevel. I have had no issues using Go HighLevel landing pages for Facebook ads. I personally like to use Unbounce because it has the fastest loading time out of all landing page builders out there, which is a big experience queue for Google, which gives you normally a lower cost per click and a better user experience. However, it is expensive and it goes up with the amount of conversions that you get. I also like that it's flat design and you can put things anywhere on the page. You're not stuck on like little boxes or frameworks that Go HighLevel gives you. The other cool thing about Unbounce is it has dynamic headline insertions, just like you've seen in the ads. You can put the headline into the landing page that they search for as well, which gives you a higher conversion rate, depending on if you can dial down the keyword list or not, because you don't want some funky long tail keyword making it into your landing page headline. So keep that in mind. So other than that, Christian, I don't really use any other landing pages. I've used ClickFunnels before. It works okay. But outside of that, those are the only ones that I really use. So we'll dive in. Again, disclaimer, use the landing page framework. Don't run into the niche. So I want to show you the difference. Right here, you can see we got a lot of traffic, almost 20% conversion rate. And then I had the same page built for Facebook that had an offer attached to it, and it had a 32% take rate, right? So again, one has an offer, one doesn't. That's the main difference. So we'll pop in here to this, which is a window tinting and wraps company. I don't have an active subscription for this, so give me a second.
Yeah, you might have to pay for it.
No, we'll just do it here. Okay. So if you look at the mobile version, which is where all traffic goes, it has a floating call now button down here at the bottom that converts really well. And then you got to get a quote right here in the top. So that's a little messed up from the way that I did have it. But you can see it's very simple. And it was converting at 20 to 35%, depending on the traffic that was coming in. We would get more phone calls than we would lead form submissions. So
Yeah.
the phone calls counted as conversions, right?
Can you go to desktop? So guys, I would literally just steal this landing page for any niche. So you'd put the logo top left, phone number from CallRail top right. You could be like premium med spa, or again, #1 med spa, or best med spa Dallas. Offering the best med spa services since whatever Dallas's favorite med spa. And then you could be like request an appointment instead of get a quote, request an appointment, or you could do phone call us. And then scroll down.
Yeah, that's the important thing on Google landing pages. You have to have some content on here or it'll disapprove it. You can't just run above the fold. You have to have some content on the page.
Yeah, but I would literally just use this template here. Scroll down. make it really I would literally just steal this template, make it really, really simple for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like here, go up, all the way up. So you have the home page look, then scroll down. You have 3 bullet points, scroll down. Then call to action, scroll down. Then a few reviews, and then call to action again.
And if you the mobile version, it's the same thing. We just take out some of the extra stuff.
Also, guys, the only recommendation, Brandon, is above the call now button or next to it. I would on mobile, I would probably put a phone number as well, because people click on numbers.
Right here.
No, even on the scrolly, on the sticky call now button, like next to it, you can put a phone number right above it, because people are also likely to click on numbers in addition to buttons.
This is messed up. The logo right here is supposed to be right here in this scrolly bar. It's supposed to scroll with it.
Well, it worked.
But
yeah, it's pretty simple, guys. I wouldn't overcomplicate it.
yeah, and guys, I'll show you.
I will say this though, I probably would have, this is actually important, I probably would have a different lander for each campaign. So if you're doing a campaign for cryoskin, have one that says cryoskin, because again, we want consistency. If what they search for, what they see on the ad, what they see on the funnel is all the same, chances of them converting go up. Again, it's not about who has the best offer, it's who has the thing they're looking for with the most congruency. So if they look up cryoskin Dallas, and then it goes to a landing page that says #1 Met Spa Dallas, you lose a little bit of congruency. So again, I would maybe, in the example that we created together, I would make one lander for cryoskin Dallas and one lander for Met Spa Dallas. Because again, if people are looking for cryoskin and then you hit them with a Met Spa landing page, it's similar, but it's not exactly what they're looking for. That's like you guys searching for TikTok ads and going to a lander that says Facebook ads. It's kind of similar, but still different.
Yeah, you guys can, I had plenty of 20-30% converting landing pages, all using the same structure in here. Here's one for HVAC. It's the same structure, converting at 18%. Literally same structure that I showed you guys.
Oh, nice.
Again, same thing, floating call button, logo. This has an offer on it for free diagnostic, ghost button to schedule now, or they can call. This was converting at 20%. But look, it's the exact same landing page.
I kind of like the other one more without the offer, but that's my personal taste.
I'm just showing you it's the same landing page.
Yeah.
And then I have some in here as high as 70% conversion rates, like 16, 38, 33. All these got good traffic on them. 26, 23, 71, 66. Like, I mean, I've spent a lot of traffic on that landing page. I know it works, is what I'm literally giving you guys a page that works, and you can build that exact same page inside of Go HighLevel.
That's pretty much it. That's Google Ads in a nutshell. Again, biggest downfalls, most people overcomplicate it. Most people waste money. That's probably the biggest thing that messes people up. Most people bid on broad match keywords. That's pretty much it. So
I want to open up to some questions real quick. Guys, this is the final part of it, of the Google Masterclass series. So if you guys want to ask questions, now is your chance. No questions.
no, I think we're good.
This is my first week in Agency Lab. You said this is part 3. The other 2 are in the library, right?
Yeah, we did it the last part 2 is last week, and then part 1 was a few weeks ago, and Marcus can hook it up. So, Marcus, are you still on?
Yeah,
Hey, Marcus, can you just post a link to all three in the Facebook group after this?
I got you.
Once it's uploaded, I guess.
Let's do that. I'll get that
Yes, we went
next
over
week.
optimization. And I mean, we went over everything, guys. We covered, we started with overall strategy, how the keywords work, how Google Ads work from a high level. Then we actually went into the Google Ad accounts, broke down an actual campaign that Brandon spent tens of thousands of dollars on. Then we actually built a campaign from scratch for med spas. Then we built a campaign from scratch for a specific service within med spas, CryoSkin. Then today we covered landing pages optimization, search terms, negative keywords, tracking. And that's it. That's really all there is to know. So, all right, we're getting some questions now. How much ad budget should we ask for? Client and dental for Google Ads. Dental is definitely a little more competitive than some other ones. So I'd probably ask for anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 a month.
3 to 5 is a good starting point for sure.
Yeah, so anywhere between $100 to $150 a day. That's how I'd position it, or $100 to $200 a day. These are going to be much higher quality leads than Facebook and TikTok and Instagram because people are searching for this. It's like if someone's searching for an Invisalign dentist or a dental implant dentist, they're much more likely to actually go in and pay than someone that is seeing an ad and they're like, oh, that looks interesting. Someone asks, could you explain retargeting? I don't do any Google Ads retargeting, honestly. Retargeting for local is like kind of a myth.
Yeah, it doesn't work. There has to be at least 1,000 visits to their website for it to even start to display on display ads. It's really just good for e-commerce. It's not really made for local lead gen. All right, guys, I'm going to give you the formula again for how to calculate your ad budget. You count a 6% conversion rate times the average cost per click. So if your average cost per click is $10, you have a 6% conversion rate. Let me do the math on that. It's going to be
also just do 5%.
Yeah, 5%. So you're going to have
the times 20.
Yeah, you're going to have $100 cost per lead, right? So there's your KPI. And if you guarantee 20 leads, you're going to need $2,000 ad budget.
So yeah, let's say your average cost per click is $5. Just instead of saying 6%, just do multiply by 20. That'll be a lot easier for you guys. So any cost per lead multiply by 20. So $5 per click times 20. That puts you at $100 cost per lead. But again, these are people looking for a kitchen and bath remodeling company. It's not like they're like, oh, there's this crazy offer on the internet. So let's say that you're guaranteeing 20 job requests. You do 100 times 20, puts you at 2K ad spend. So if you do it per day, divided by 30, you're at $66 a day in ad spend. I'd probably still go up and ask for 80 to $100 a day in ad spend. That's how I would do it.
Always overshoot to give yourself a window.
Yeah.
Yep. Your campaign, normally you're not, I don't know if you got it on manual cost per click, but if it's not spinning or giving you low clicks, it's because you're not bidding enough. That's normally what happens there. You want me to tell them how they can get the course, my course, Joel?
Yes. And then also, Brandon, it also might be easier if you post this in the group. So guys, just as a big heads up, Brandon is hosting an incredible event for agency owners. When is it again?
April 12th to the 15th in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, and he asked me, hey, Joel, can I share it with you guys? I said, of course you can. You know, Brandon is an incredible agency owner and one of our partners on the Done For You program. And, you know, he just hooked you guys up with everything that you need to know about Google Ads. If you guys do want to go to that event, can you drop the link below, Brandon?
Yes.
And also drop it in the group too, and I'll tag everyone.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
But for-
drop the link. Anyone who decides to come, general admission, super cheap for all you guys. I sell the Google Ads course for $2,000 each. If you guys get a general admission ticket, I'll give it to you for free.
So guys, to recap, if you guys want to go to that event, Sergio will be speaking at that event. Jared Curry will be speaking at that event. Brandon obviously will be at that event. Who else is going to that event?
I'm trying to think anyone that you guys would know. Dr. Connor will be there. Sam will be there. We got a guy. We got 9 speakers total, guys. They're
Love
all
it.
on the landing page.
So if you guys want to go and meet Brandon, Sergio, Dr. Connor, Jared Curry in person, no, I won't be there. Not this time. But if you guys want to do that, and buy a general admission ticket, Brandon will hook you up with an entire Google Ads course that he has as well. Tickets are super affordable. So if you want to check that out, check it out. Brandon, go ahead and post that in the group as well.
Yeah, I'll post in the group.
And I'll tag everyone.
Guys,
If you're a beginner, would you recommend getting into Google Ads or YouTube Ads? Definitely. YouTube
Google.
Ads is more complicated because you need to have like really good copywriting, like that bit, and creatives. Like you can't just like throw up a quick YouTube ad.
Yes, creative and script writing, and then it's still not guaranteed to work.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that 3-part series. Make sure to check out Brandon's event. And again, Sergio will be there, Jared will be there, Brandon will be there, Dr. Connor will be there. And super affordable. He'll also hook you guys up with the his Google Ads course. And that's pretty much it. Oh, wait, one last question. I just saw it. How to best determine estimated monthly ad budget for any industry. We talked about it. So look at the keyword search planner. Look at how much cost per click is. Multiply by 20. That's how many leads you're going to get. And or conversions you're going to get on average. And then reverse engineer how much ad spend you want. And then probably ask for a little more. So if your cost per click is $5, it'll cost you about $100 per call, or $100 per appointment, or $100 per conversion. If you're trying to get them 30, you're going to have to ask for $3,000 a month. And if you want to guarantee it, you probably need to ask for $3,500 to $4K a month just to be safe.
There you go. 5% conversion times average cost per click times 20 for your lead cost. If you use that,
And that's not, and by the way, we're not like, don't sue us if it's a little off. Like, this is marketing. There's some degree of variability, right? If you're bidding in New York City for plastic surgery, or in Beverly Hills, it's going to cost more. If you're betting on personal injury attorney, Dallas, Texas, there's so many freaking attorneys in Texas. Like, it's just going to be more expensive. So like, there's also a little bit of variability. And remember, go back to the first ever part 1. I talked about when Google Ads don't work. If you're in a city with 5,000 people within a 50-mile radius, even if you spend all the money, you're not going to get 50 conversions for a dentist. Like, how many people are actually looking for a dentist at any given point in time in a town of 5,000 people within a 50-mile radius? Not many. And everyone already knows this dentist. So again, there's examples where you have to like just think a little bit farther. And on part 1, we broke down when you should be a little bit more careful. Again, if you're bidding in extremely expensive cities like LA, like New York City, like Miami, if you're bidding on, the costs are going to vary. If you're bidding on very small towns in the middle of nowhere, costs are going to vary. If you're bidding on services that people barely search for, you're not going to get many conversions. So think about it. How many people look for a plumber within a 30-mile radius? Quite a lot. Probably have plumbing issues, things like that. How many people look for I don't know, I'm trying to think of something very specific that very few people search for.
Wood deck patios.
Yeah, I guess that one depends, but on where you're at. But yeah, wood deck patios, like, and you have to ask yourself, like, for example, if you're a remodeling company, I would bid on kitchen, bath, home, bunch of different services, not just one. And then anyone looking for any of these types of remodeling jobs is going to see your ad at the top of Google.
Guys, I'll give
so-
you the model that I would run for all of you that are wanting to run Google ads for your clients. Charge $500 a month plus 20% of ad spend, right? So you can take people in smaller markets so that it's not, again, you got to look at value to cost. So if your cost is really high, and like Joel's saying, there's only 5,000 people in a town, it's not going to make sense for them to pay you $2,000 a month to run that campaign. But if you go lower with a 20% of ad spend on top of it, and you charge like a setup fee to build out their landing page, you can still take that client and keep that client for a long amount of time. Because if you spend $1,000 for them, you're just getting an extra $200, and it's only $700 retainer, but you keep them for years. It's very low maintenance.
That's great. I love that. How do you set up local targeting? Last question, then I got to run. If there's a uniquely shaped service area, you can target by zip code.
Yes.
We showed you guys how to do that. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Buy a ticket for Brandon's event, and we'll talk soon.
See you guys there.
All right, guys, that wraps up day 3 of the 3-day Google Ads course. As promised, we gave away everything 100% for free. Now, all I ask of you, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment with anything just to get some engagement. So with that in mind, much love. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.